And we're live. So, hello, and welcome to another scuffed episode of Polymorphed D&D. You're most welcome to watch us, as this is going to be a pretty interesting session, hopefully. And if you didn't join us last time, or see the Twitter tweet thingy that I sent out before, stay tuned for this recap that I'm about to begin in just a moment to find out why this is going to be spicy. I don't think there's anything else to say except for the recap. So we can jump right into that. So, last session started with Storm and Arisa going and collecting the things that they had ordered. Both of them getting cloaks, but from different tailors. Jaxson then went to the arena to look at the notice board and try to see if there was anything new there. Storm came to the arena soon thereafter, and the two of them concluded that there were no news about your appearance in the gauntlet of the Alder Queen's arena. So instead you headed over to the Nocturnal Nymph to share the information with the rest of the party, hoping that they would all be there. Arisa, who had joined Dara for a lunch, they were both there as Storm and Jaxson entered. There was some conversations that led to a bit of a discussion of what the co-workers' involvement had been in starting the war that now rages in the north of the Dawn World. Arisa kind of finding out for the first time exactly what her wife and traveling companions for some time had been up to in her absence, and decided to get absolutely wasted as a result.
That's the common reaction to that.
Storm then headed off to investigate the hollows, where he had found out the session before that Gage Fawnen had reportedly been sighted, or rather, he had said that he would be headed there. And so Storm chased after that rumor and was approached by, or not approached by, but approached an elven man who was in a fight with who turned out to be his wife. And the man explained that he was going after the stolen sword that a thieves guild had taken into their possession. And then, in a moment of desperation, afraid that his wife would go there and get herself killed, instead asked Storm if he would be willing to steal it for them, offering information on this Fawnen in return, as Storm had mentioned his name. Jaxson and Dara, in the meantime, spent some time taking care of Arisa, who was in a very drunken state. There was a game of Dragon Chess that was played, where Jaxson won in a very clutch battle against Dara. When Storm returned to the Nocturnal Nymph to tell the rest of the group about this quest to retrieve a blade that had once belonged to the Alder King, he was challenged to play a game of chess against Dara as well. Dara promptly crushed Storm in a quick sweep, and because of how poorly Storm performed, the group thought that it would be funny to pressure him into playing a match against the wasted Arisa, who, in this peer-pressured battle, somehow managed to decisively defeat Storm between some very questionable turns, even though Storm was even cheating, moving pieces around with his nimble fingers. He still managed to get absolutely demolished, only managing to take a couple of pieces off of off of Arisa's side. After a while, though, Arisa managed to sober up a bit due to her high constitution, and the party ventured together after Storm to the Hollows, where they investigated the house that the Thieves Guild was apparently hiding in. The house seemed abandoned, and it took quite a while for you to search every little nook and cranny of this abandoned building before Storm realized that maybe it's worth checking behind or checking inside this cabinet that we saw as we entered, since we've now looked at everything else but the cabinet. So you did, and you found a staircase leading down into some sort of cellar. So the group headed down these stairs and reached this dark room beneath. You were all invisible at the time, and this man was sat behind a desk facing these stairs and apparently realized that you were present, calling you out and saying that you should make yourselves known to them. This man, however, was not alone, as standing by his side, you also spotted Gage Fawnen, along with a mysterious grey-robed man wearing a featureless mask. Further in the back, there was also an excellent of the Arcanum that was familiar to Dara and Arisa. And then two well-armored, kind of mercenary-looking people, one golden-colored elf and a furbolg with a cross-shaped scar, as well as another 8 soldiers that were just kind of playing cards and dice in the far back. The man behind the desk then confessed that the stolen sword was nothing but a ploy to lure you all into this situation, as he was afraid that you might have tried something if you had simply gotten an open invitation. And so, after addressing you as the co-workers, alluding to the fact that he knows who you are, he then stood up, gave a deep theatrical bow, and introduced himself as the mastermind Kessler. And that is where we last left off, and I've noticed that we've pretty much lost Goblin here to technical difficulties, I would assume, since he has been frozen for a while after walking around and trying to fix things. I know that he had internet difficulties before this started, but
he seems to be having difficulties connecting to the server of Discord.
Yeah, I think, didn't he use a VPN in time to...
yeah, he tried, but something's off with it, and he's gone.
Yeah,
well, that's a great start. We're down 2 people now. I don't know, we can't really just sit around for too long and do nothing.
Okay, we gotta entertain the stream somehow. Fun joke.
I don't really... Oh, no, maybe he's back.
Yeah.
Goblin, can you hear us?
Yeah. Maybe try without the video if that doesn't work.
Okay, you're back. Great.
No, it works now.
So I just finished the recap.
Did the backup thing.
I just finished the recap, so you're all standing there. Fawnen has just lit a candle on the desk so that you can all see clearly now, even though all of you already have dark vision in one way or another. The room is now illuminated, although dramatic shadows are being cast towards the back of the room, as it is only a singular candle. Kessler sits there, looking intensely at all of you. Just kind of smiling a little bit. Well,
wanted something?
Well, I was just about to say, do you have any questions before we begin this conversation? I would assume that some of you are at least a little bit confused about what is going on at the moment.
Indeed, but I believe that you were about to tell us why the hell you wanted us here in the first place.
Well, yes, of course, I was going to get to that eventually, but just wondered, out of courtesy, wanted to make sure that there was no confusion before we begin this. I believe that it is best to begin when everybody has a sort of common ground to stand on. Would you not agree?
So we won't get a sword?
No, the sword was a fabrication. There was no sword. It was simply an idea that the elven gentleman came up with when I approached him, offering to pay him to direct you all here without your knowledge of what you are headed into.
And may I ask why? Why you thought it was a good idea to bring all these soldiers down here as well?
Oh, these are nothing but safety measures. I know that some of you, and he kind of looks mostly at you, Storm, have a tendency to be a bit rash and impulsive at times. So I just wanted to make sure, of course, that none of you tries anything. It's always important to have the upper hand when it can be had.
May I ask, this table he's sitting by?
Yep.
Are there any vacant chairs?
Yeah, there is a number of chairs, enough for all of you. I think there are six chairs, maybe 5. There should be 6 chairs, I'm pretty sure.
Is it like an oblong table or?
Yeah, it's like a desk. It's like
desk. Okay.
Kind of wider.
So he's sitting at the wide end.
Yeah, in the middle of the wider side on the opposite.
I take a chair.
Oh yes, by all means, go on. Have a seat, all of you.
Straight in front of him.
I'll stand up still.
I'll prefer to stand.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm asking you, please. Go on, sit down.
I will sit down.
Okay, I grab the chair, drag it out back, not at the desk, and sit down. Nice.
I guess that Jaxson and Arisa is up front and Storm is way back. I'm gonna
2 pictures back.
I'm gonna be a few feet behind Arisa, so I can be close enough.
Look, I'm trying to see all of you properly. Please come closer. This is no way to start a conversation.
Nor is it to make any demands. At this point, is there something in the... How high is it to the ceiling?
Not particularly high. I mean, it's kind of like a normal
Is there
room,
maybe
like
a protruding
7.5
rock
feet.
that I could potentially touch?
You mean
like,
from the ceiling?
Yes. I would like to see if I can't cast light.
No, I mean, it's not a kind of natural cave ceiling. It's constructed flat.
Yeah, I'm assuming like bricks then.
Besides, how tall is Arisa? It's like 5 something,
Not
right?
tall enough, but I do have a chair.
Are you gonna
I mean,
stand up?
like, there is light here, you know. As I said, there's a candle that is lit on the desk, so you know, there's no
Never
real
mind
like
that.
need to light things up per se.
You always have to keep your guard, Kessler, even though... yeah. Especially here.
Especially here.
With, like, 12 people I do not know of.
And...
Nice.
Oh. Right, yes, you have met in the past, and that is partially the reason why I brought you here, of course. But there are many things that we need to discuss, some of which I think you don't have any idea are about to be brought up here.
Probably not.
So is that it for the questions before we actually get to the meat of the conversation?
I think so.
I have some questions afterwards, probably, but yep.
None that should be taken before or your words have been spoken.
Right. Well, to begin with, you were all intentionally brought here one way or another. Just so that you are aware. Some, of course, are more obvious than others. Storm, you received my letter, I believe. It is sad to know that Tazio could not join us here today as well. I was hoping to see him. However, when I first devised this plan to get you all here, I did not expect you, Jaxson, to come here.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence I was here.
Right, but I found out about it a while ago that you were in the city, and so I thought that it would be a good opportunity to make sure that you could join us as well. And it seems like the rest of the group did it for us. Dara, Arisa, I understand both of you are traveling together. You share a strong bond in a way, don't you? So I knew, of course, that I could get you both to come if I gave one of you reason to join us. And it seems to have worked perfectly. Now, I wasn't exactly sure to begin with where I would find the two of you, but during a certain scouting mission, my dear friend here, and he gestures towards Gage Vonnen, just happened to stumble upon the both of you and reported that back to me. Either way, I hope that your last friend Fritz can also come here sooner or later. Getting him to come here was significantly more complex, so I'm not going to leave without at least having a talk to him. So, anyway, why do you think you are here?
To do a mission so we can get rewarded. Coin, gold.
That is one take.
To protect my land.
No. Why do you think I brought you here? I hardly brought you here to protect your homelands.
Oh, but you still think that you're the only force in play.
There are many forces in play. If anybody knows all about that. I just intend to come out on top. But that is besides the point. I am asking you now because I like to hear your expectations.
I don't think it's wise for us to reveal all our cards yet, at least. So I will keep things a little bit on the downside, if you don't mind.
Very well. You're not obliged to answer. I'm simply waiting to see if anybody has another take to offer. But it seems like that is not the case. So
The table, is it made of wood?
yeah, it's like a
Alright.
sturdy, dark mahogany.
Oh, mahogany.
I then instead point up in the ceiling, and using mold earth, I make a pattern swirling into a tree. At the roots, it swirls like a whirlwind out into the shape of a tree.
Okay. I don't think
And just
anyone would really notice that.
I point up as
casting
well.
something.
Point up.
What
30 feet.
Yeah, no, that's not. What are the components for the spell? Like, is it
Somatic.
Okay, so you start waving your hands around. You see instantly how the mage kind of twitches in the back, and the two more well-equipped mercenary-like people kind of put their hands on their weapons as if they're ready to kind of lunge in your direction. And you see Kessler just kind of like waves to them in a nonchalant way, looks up, notices what you're doing.
And then as soon as he looks up, I also cast it once more to create a cage, or what was supposed to resemble a cage with something inside of it.
You're of the theatrical type, then. I like that. The theatre always fascinated me.
Now you have a glimpse into my expectations. Now
I
go
see.
on, tell me yours.
Well, my expectations are that we are going to be able to work together, of course, as Storm, in a sense, predicted. However, the situation is much more complex. I believe that both of us have some sort of debt to each other. Now, you may not be aware of all the details. You may not have any idea of how vast our history with one another truly is, but we have had numerous occasions where one or the other has foiled the other side's plans, or at least put some spokes in the wheel.
Like what?
Well, to begin with, I must say that the first time that we had the opportunity to interact, albeit very much indirectly, was of course when I, without informing you, used you for my plan to smuggle a particular item out of Dante de Cosmo's ball. You were all very helpful in making sure that that went exactly according to plan. And so for that, I wish to thank you. That is entirely on my side, that I didn't reward you appropriately for your aid in that matter. However, soon thereafter you began to make things more difficult for me. See, some of you, not all of you of course, were involved in a plot to assassinate King Grimwald. Now, my business in Beleren was not finished, so I couldn't have that kingdom be tossed into chaos. So, of course, I had to give that information to a certain Lady Clarice de la Nuit.
Yeah.
Dun,
You
dun,
are the rat.
Yeah, at this
You
point,
are
you
the
see
mole.
Arisa just nodding along, kind of unfazed by this information.
I'm glad we could finally meet. But yes,
My.
I had a very good
God.
source present at your little meeting, so I knew exactly what each and every one of you was going to do. That information was later relayed on to Lady de la Nuit, whom I have a very interesting working relationship with at times, although she doesn't exactly appreciate me as much as she should. Regardless, that was one of those times where we had to put spokes in each other's wheels. Now, some time went on after that, and later we had the pleasure to work with each other through my friend Gage Fornan, who employed you to retrieve a certain book for me. Now this book, and you see at this point he pulls out one of the drawers on the desk, and he places the familiar book with the torn out pages next to it. This book was returned to me in a very sorry state. Pages with important information have been torn from it, which you were brave enough to confess that you had done.
I lay my hand on the book.
No, I wouldn't do that. Please keep your hands off of that one.
I retract my hand
Thank you.
carefully and just nod in acceptance.
Now, this book, why do you think I wanted it retrieved?
Because your plans is written there.
Right, but why did I want it?
Because your plans is written there.
Because without the complete set, each piece is useless.
He already knew the plans.
Fonan, and he extends the book and the pages to him. Take this back to our dear Excellent. And Fonan nods, goes back to the mage, holds it out. Burn it for me, would you? And you see the mage extends a finger and sets the book on fire. Now,
I, at this point, I try to use Druidcraft to snuff it out.
he's gonna continue to make sure that it burns.
At that point, I stop. After two times casting.
You understand, it was not the information in the book that was important to me. It was the fact that the book didn't end up in the wrong hands that was important. I have several copies, not to mention the fact that I have all of my plans in my head. That book in particular meant nothing to me. But the fact that you looked in it means that somebody else now knows my plans.
Yep.
But there is something else, even more infuriating than that. Storm, would you like to guess what that would be?
We killed Isidore.
Yes, that was quite well done. I couldn't care less about it. At that point, I was already done in Vendethal anyway.
Yeah, I have no idea, Kessler.
Well,
You blame us for triggering a chain of events causing a world war.
no. It's much more simple than that.
Mhm.
In my home, in Vendethal,
Yep.
there was a particularly expensive collection of books.
What?
Of
A
course.
complete set of original copies of both famous Golden Oaks plays. A collection where some of those copies are the only ones that remain in pristine condition. A collection where each book had been signed by the two Golden Oaks themselves. A collection so invaluable that it will take me years and cost many people their lives to be able to get that back. So I just wanted to let you know that that was by far the greatest violation of my plans, my personal life, so to speak, that you have committed. And that is one thing that I struggle to forgive you for. Now, I have already had to kill... No, you don't
That
understand.
does not concern the majority of the individuals in this room.
You see, I don't care. Some might say
we are
that
at a
collective...
crossroad.
No. What we are in a situation... The situation we are in is that I have the upper hand, and it doesn't matter if you don't think that you had a hand in this or not. If I think so, then that is law. And I don't care if collective punishments, as they may be known, is morally wrong. I couldn't care less about what would be morally acceptable. I never did. So, all of you, as a result, including you, Jaxson, I'm afraid, but that is a slightly different matter as well, since you happen to be involved through means of blood. But all of you have a debt to pay. Because all of you are a group, whether you like it or not. And, quite frankly, I just believe that if you help me out, I can forgive you. And not only that, I can reward you. But right now, the most generous reward I can give you is your lives. Because at this present moment, your lives belong to me. I don't have to let you leave alive. If I decide that you die in this room, you die in this room. And there's nothing you can do about that. Are we all on the same page in that regard? Or does any one of you think that you are
Clearly we're
capable
not.
of running? Would you like me to demonstrate why?
On what?
Well, the one who goes against what I'm saying.
Ah,
Would you like for me to demonstrate what
I am
this
not doubting the fact that you can keep us here, nor the fact that you would kill us. What I am
Excellent.
saying is that you are misconstrued into say that you are above all laws, and because there is simply one law you can never avoid, no matter how powerful you are. Not even gods can avoid the law of nature.
can I guess?
The law of nature.
What is this?
I'm afraid I'm not entirely familiar with what you are referring to here. So go on, enlighten me. I always like new information.
Well, let's begin with the simple principle, and I once more point up to the ceiling.
Yes.
And I start using the same spell once more to draw out shapes and colors. Let's start with a basic cycle. Anything that has a beginning has to come to an end. Eventually.
Indeed.
Anything good will always be followed by bad. Anything bad will always followed by something good. No matter how long these different periods last, they will always cycle. That is inevitable truth and the basic principle of the laws of nature.
Perhaps.
Second, to believe one is higher than these laws is to doom themselves to an eternity of strife, anguish, and eventual demise.
If everything has an end, would that not also mean that it can end on either a good or a bad note? Couldn't possibly be both. Nothing guarantees that it ends with a good.
Well, there are you coming in, already skipping to the 0th rule. If you pay attention to these rules, everything has its end, including the law of nature. But the law of nature's end comes with a special clause. It is the end of everything. Does not end on a good or a bad, because that is simply the cycle. It will end on the equilibrium between both, and the chaos that reigns within. So you see, no matter what you do to us, it won't change a thing for your plan. What is going to happen will happen, eventually.
Yes, and what is going to happen is that I win. That is inevitable.
And then, by the end, you will also lose.
I believe that you are mistaken in that. I can win, and I can die happy. How am I to lose after I've already completed all that I sought out to do, and died happily?
You seem to think that death is an end. But now I have taught you all that you're willing to listen of the laws of nature, as you could not even begin to get to step 3. So do pre-tell, if you want to kill us, why not do it? But if you're going to use us...
she's speaking for herself.
Try instead and be upfront, and not to play these games, because they will only waste both yours and my time.
See, as per the circle of goods and bads that you speak of, that is exactly what I proposed. There was once good, then we subverted each other's plans. Now we're in a time of darkness, but I intend to turn that into something positive with your cooperation.
And yet you're still trying to subvert our minds into doing your bidding simply because you want it, instead of trying to convince us of the righteousness in your plan.
I don't see how that goes against any law of nature, but let's not...
It doesn't.
Let's not discuss this any further, shall we?
Quite hypocritical, eh?
Besides, I do believe, for instance, Storm, you seek riches, do you not? Fame, and all that is material. I can give that.
Oh, how lovely.
At a price.
And
A
what is that
deed
price?
in return is rewarded.
Well, I am listening.
And in addition, I believe I can give all of you something that you want. It is only a matter of me finding out what you want. Trust me, I am more powerful than may meet the eye. I have the means to make any dream come true. With certain limitations, of course. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I got the question, what it is I want you to do. So let's get to it then.
Yep.
I have a project. I collect things. Particular things.
Books.
Not quite. However, this time it is awfully close to what it is I'm looking for you to do. Since you've already read my list, you are aware that one of the locations listed on there is all the King's Library in this very city. There is a private wing in that library, locked to only be available to those that carry the seal of Queen Elysia. I want the seal. If you get me a seal, I will take care of the rest, and then we can talk about rewards.
What's so special about the seal?
It grants me access to the private wing of the Older King's Library.
I mean, is it magical? Or is
The
it
seal
simply...
serves only that function, and that is the only function it must serve, because what I seek is within that library's private wing.
Why not simply make a forgery?
So you're not gonna tell me the rewards before?
Well, we can certainly discuss that.
Ah, lovely.
As for the forgery question, well, it is a bit more complex than that. It's not exactly a simple seal. Perhaps it has an element of magic to it. Or perhaps
You
it
haven't
doesn't.
tried.
I will not confirm nor deny that. All I'm saying is that the simplest way for me to get access to that wing is by doing it the proper way. In a sense, anyway.
Fair enough. What about all your other little fetch quests?
Oh, well, some of them have been taken care of. Others are projects for a later day. Now, however, let's go directly to the next matter then, since you discussed rewards, or some of you had mentioned rewards, and the fact that one of the locations does appear to have a certain sentimental value to you in particular, Arisa. I am willing to delay my efforts to retrieve the item from the Dusk Hollow Grove. And if you continue to do favors for me, perhaps I will let you retrieve it yourself. That way none of your druids must be hurt in the process.
What you're proposing is indentured servitude through means of blackmail.
Call it what you want. I view it as a reward.
And what is the end goal, Kessler, with all of these quests, eh?
The end goal is that I will be satisfied with what I've accomplished.
And what does that lead to?
My own satisfaction, fulfillment, the feeling of having done what I set out to do.
And what is that? Just stealing things?
View this as a piece of art. You cannot see the full result until you've reached the end. Until the work has reached its completion. To simply tell you would be a disservice to the piece of art itself. You get a painting. Well, the painting is satisfying to look at. But if that painter simply told you what he intended to paint, would that really give you any sense of satisfaction? I don't think so. The artwork must be completed.
And may I ask you this? Why would we have an interest in helping you complete this artwork? You keep saying you will reward us, but a reward is only that, a reward. It is not indentured in, or complicit in the fact that we have to be forced into these labors. If so, it will not be a reward.
He forced us the first thing, then
a slave can be rewarded.
Wait, are we slaves? We're slaves.
No, you are not slaves. You are free to do whatever you want.
Great.
Through technical means. But that does not
Except
mean that not
die.
every action has consequences. Oh,
So if I wanted to walk out of here and not help you collect this piece to complete your artwork, would I be free to do so?
Perhaps, but first I would like to complete this conversation. But if you are
course, I'm
simply
just talking
intending to,
hypothetically.
after we have concluded our talks, turn down my offer and walk out without making any threats to me or my employees, then you are free to go. But know that all actions have consequences, regardless if they are good or bad.
Of course.
Good.
But do tell me this. Why the grove?
Because something I need is located there. It is as simple as that.
Why not simply ask them instead for it?
Well, I would, if that was an option. But you should know that druids are secretive and stubborn.
Naturally.
They ask too many questions that I am not willing to answer. And they are the same way. They will not answer the questions that I have to ask. And so we find ourselves in a difficult spot, where one side must be moved out of the way for the other to succeed. And as is the case with all matters, I don't intend to lose.
Very well. To continue on then.
I have a question. Who are you rooting for in the war?
Who I'm rooting for in the war is the one that can make things return to a more stable situation. War is, for the most part, just a hindrance. It makes things more difficult. Travel becomes restricted. Communication is cut off. People that would normally be united stand on different sides. It is annoying. I simply hope to see an end to the war. But as for which side wins, does not concern me.
Would I be correct in presuming that you're hoping for Thromera having a swift victory?
As I said, I do not care if it is Thromera that stands
No, but
victorious
at this
or
point.
not. At this point, as of right now, in this very moment, it seems like Thromera is losing. Therefore, I am hoping that that trend continues so that we can see an end to this as quickly as possible. However, with the rumors that I'm sure you've all heard about of the 3 new kingdoms entering the war, it seems like the tides may turn, and in that case, I hope that they instead can close out this conflict quickly. But truly, I could not care who stands victorious, and I mean that.
Even though you have a little pact with Clarice, you do not root for...
I do not have a pact with
Bellerin.
Clarice, no. Clarice de la Nuit wants to see me dead, I'm certain.
Yeah, see me too, dead.
Well,
Good.
then we all have something in common.
Let's just move on real quickly then a little bit to the rewards section of this conversation. We'll just touch on it briefly in case there is something else that needs to be addressed before that. But I happen to know certain things about House de la Nuit that can bring them down.
Why
And
would
if
you want
you...
that?
Well, you said that Clarice de la Nuit wants you dead.
But she can't kill
He
me.
wants him dead.
Jaxson,
Only
you
me.
seem to be on that that belief as well.
I think that at least 3 of us are on the bad side of Clarice.
But Clarice is a reasonable woman. I do not
So-
see
What
taking
the-
down usurping one ruler will simply leave a vacuum for another, usually more heinous one.
But perhaps the new ruler doesn't have a personal vendetta against your group. And perhaps this group...
Talking of us as collective.
Because that is what you are in my eyes, and in the eyes of House de la Nuit. I can assure you that. They view you all as members of the co-workers, and should one do something, collective punishment will be issued. It is not just I that view things that way. I know House de la Nuit well enough. I've had enough encounters with them. See, my relation with House de la Nuit is that I use them when it is beneficial, and they use me when they are given opportunity. I provide them with information. They use that.
So
and I give them information to take care of things that I need taken care of.
Very well. You have given one proposal for what you could give.
It is only an idea.
Bad idea.
For me.
It is not the only thing, trust me. There will be more rewards in it for you. I'm only putting things on the table here that you might be interested in, and I'm just saying, House de la Nuit will play a big role in the future to come, I'm sure of it.
I'm not.
And yet I do not wish to see them gone.
I could care less about them.
Why do you care for...
They do not bother me in any sense, so... What else
I'm
do you have?
surprised. It's not often that I would be surprised. Well, other information. Jaxson.
Yes.
I'm sure you're looking for your brother Kingston.
I already have a plan for that.
Very well. I can offer you an alternative. I can show you where he is.
You're talking about simply scrying on somebody. Even I can do that.
No, I mean giving you a simple way to get to him.
Well, I think isn't it worth helping you?
Fine. Storm, how about this then, for you? Although I believe you are quite easy to persuade. I happen to have contacts in very high up places, including several different regents, monarchs. You wish to see your little kingdom Stortaz succeed, correct?
How? Yep.
I could offer a way to legitimize that place.
I'm listening.
Great. Then I have one of your attention.
Indeed.
Now, how about I simply move the question to you? What would you want for your servitude? Apart from the things I've already offered, as well as the promise of having your lives in your own hands again.
Jaxson don't care what he does. He can do whatever he wants. Arisa just wants the grove to be peaceful and not everyone to get killed. So you already offered the golden ticket to Arisa. Dara just wants something under the rock to do, helping them or something. And Fritz just
under the rock.
Arisa just looks
underground,
like intrigued over this deduction.
You are half Drow. I can tell. Especially since I already know about your Goliath side, as well as where part of that family is located at the moment. Your Drow side, do you have an issue with anything related to that? This is something I must admit that I do not know much about.
Perhaps.
Do you have troubles in your home? Anything I can help you with?
Not any help that I would like from you there.
Very well. Just know that if you ever need to get in contact with the Sisterhood of Shadows, I might be your ticket. Anyway, any questions? Any proposals? What can I offer you that I haven't already offered that would persuade you to work with me?
Well,
apart from the promise of your druids at the Forest of Dusk surviving, and the fact that I can lead you to Kingston Gillstar, and the fact that perhaps, although I must admit that I don't know much about your situation, that I can get you into contact with a very powerful guild in the Underdark, what can I offer you that is tempting?
Well, if we're talking plainly, we could simply point out what is, I presume at least, impossible for you to give up, and that is your pursuit to the Dusk Hollow Grove.
If I am given the item that is located within the Dusk Hollow Grove, I will never bother them again. You have my word.
Very well. For the seal, I am willing to help retrieve it if you promise that nothing, no harm, nor any malice, and that is my definition of malice, will come to my home, my family, or my friends.
Your definition could quite frankly be more or less anything. However, in the typical sense, it seems agreeable enough, yes.
And that you will stop of the pursuit for Dusk Hollow Grove until you can show me what you wish to do with that specific item. And then I can promise you I will thoroughly consider with proper intention of helping you retrieve it.
He doesn't want to show us the art piece before it's done.
No.
You will be pointed in the direction and told what I want when the time is nigh. But I will not tell you exactly what my plans for it is, no, that I cannot do.
Very well. For the first seal, will you at least agree to the first part of my demand?
I will not continue my efforts to extract the item from the Dusk Hollow Grove, nor do any probing in the area that would concern people that are close to you, until we have gotten to the point where you are prepared to go there yourselves.
Nor or do anything that would harm or hinder or in any other way put my family and the people
Are they not a part of the people near the area that you are close to?
Yes, but you neglected to include harm. You only said investigation, retrieval, and probing.
And why would I go there simply to harm them?
You simply don't need to go there. You could harm me here, for example. You could do something else. There are plenty of things a resourceful man such as yourself could do when he gets bored.
If you think that I am so simple-minded that I go around torturing people for my own entertainment, and that I'm not more busy than that...
Oh, on the contrary. But I do believe that you are a clever little shrewd negotiator, and you know how to put some loopholes in a contract.
And I'm giving you this offer then. To clarify, I will not hurt, harm, kill, hinder, capture, if you want me to include that as well, anyone in your family or your friends or anybody in the near vicinity of the Druids or anything along those lines over in that area.
Only that area.
Assuming, well, we can't exactly prevent me from harming anybody in the entire world, now can we? I don't know if Arisa is best friends with my next door neighbor. I cannot promise that, but I can promise to leave those people in peace. Because I know who they are and I know that they have ties to Arisa. Now, I can promise to not do any of the things I just mentioned to those people, the Druids and the people in the villages near the Forest of Dusk, assuming that you retrieve the seal for me and that you undertake the mission to retrieve the item from the Dusk Hollow Grove. If those two things are not completed, then I will be forced to do other things to complete my mission, my quest.
I agree to this with a condition to be able to rediscuss these terms at the point of the seal's retrieval.
Oh, go on ahead, but I cannot promise that I will keep up my side of the bargain then if you suddenly decide to break this deal.
No, at the point if
Good.
we decide that this deal is
Renegotiate as you wish, but that is what
null
our
and void,
deal is for now then.
then we can then of course any terms regarded here will be null and void afterwards. But until then, we treat the
Great,
contract.
great.
How
So,
often it will be 2 remaining, or 3 if you count Fritz.
well, I intend to have a conversation with Fritz. Whether it will have to be alone or in this group, it doesn't really concern me. I will simply have a talk with him. But I think it shouldn't be too difficult to persuade him into joining this, and if it is, then too bad. Now, Storm.
Yep.
Stortaz.
Yep.
The recognition of that as a state, does that satisfy you?
That is satisfying indeed. If it becomes a real country and gets recognized.
Excellent, then we have a deal. Only 2 remain then. Although, I do believe that I don't really have to give you anything, Dara. You will likely come along anyway, since your wife is going on this journey.
Oh,
But for the sake of
Jesus,
things, I will
not
still
bad.
give you the offer to provide you with something that you may want. Now, Jaxson, let's start with you. Give Dara some time to think.
It tells a lot about someone if Kingston doesn't want to work for them.
Yes, I found out about that.
Mm-hmm.
It is a shame, really. He did his work quite well. His friend was not anywhere near as competent as him. But somebody came along and took care of him for me anyway.
Well,
So,
I can't think of something that you can provide me that I can't accomplish myself.
very well. Does that mean you refuse my offer then?
I'm just not saying that I think I can agree on it yet.
so
Yeah,
what?
we're surprised,
We're out.
but right now I don't know if you can pay my price.
I must say I am disappointed because I somehow had an expectation that you would be the wiser of the siblings. But it seems that you are like your brother.
I'm the only one that isn't a wizard, so
What are you going to do then, Jaxson? Are you just gonna sit and chill at your room, taking drugs? Oh no, yeah, you stopped with that. Or are you gonna help us with the seal and gain a reward? It's as simple as it is. We steal a seal. We've robbed the fucking Greenwald's vault. We've done everything.
Or,
What?
yeah, you probably get killed by
Killed? I've
See?
killed the high priestess. I do not get killed.
So that's
As simple
a
as...
completely different thing.
Huh? Of course it is. But I am Captain Storm, and we are the co-workers. We do not
Well,
simply die from
I left the
stealing.
coworkers a long time ago.
You left the co-workers?
Oh, is your memory not working?
You left the co-workers.
You
Oh.
remember when I left?
You dropped your nose and became a little sad and fled back to Romera. Yeah, I remember that.
Well,
So you know.
then you should.
Yeah, you left
Well-
co-workers, but now you're here, so why not join again? And as Kessler is saying, we're all a group. If someone does something, you're gonna be part of it. So
We
if
are
we
not
steal
a
the seal,
group.
you're gonna be part of it.
That's
We are
something
not a group.
I and Arisa can agree on.
What are you supposed to do then?
I think Jaxson might be quite wise to stay out of this.
The only reason I have to be here is because of Kingdom. Because I have a debt to pay, probably.
And Kessler can help you with that, eh?
Yeah, I mean, like...
How about
Well,
this?
Well,
Jaxson, how about this? You enjoy a life of luxuries, correct?
Yes,
I could restore your family name. I've received reports about the sorry state that your estate is currently in. Your home doesn't look very pristine anymore. The Gillstar estate in Northport, that is. Besides, as far as I understand, you don't really have a reliable source of income for your family, and with all that many siblings to feed, you know, somebody needs to pay the bills.
Really, I couldn't really... I wouldn't really care about what happens to the family name, because I'm not been treated like family in my family. But
what if you become known to your family as the one who restored their name? You will be the new head of the family, the one to lead the Gillstars into a glorious age. Does that not sound appealing? Prove all of the doubters wrong. Be the man greater than what they thought that you could ever be.
Right now, I think we're heading somewhere.
I'm just letting you know that I can help renovate your estate and make the name one of importance in politics. One that will be whispered between nobility at balls. One that everybody will know.
I think we have a deal.
Great!
Oh.
Then Dara, last
You're
one
amazing.
here. As I confessed, I cannot tell you exactly what you might want, but I am putting some cards on the table.
And I'd like to keep it that way, but what I would like to have is a way to check your progress in your notes. Some way to find what things have been done and what have not been done, and that it could be continually updated with new information.
I'm not sure we have a deal there. I like to keep my progress a secret. You're more likely to complete something if you don't go around sharing the progress with everybody. Did you know that? There was a study that was made that proved it. Some philosopher that came up with an experiment. But I digress.
I'm not too familiar with that study.
I mean, I would, of course, complete my work regardless if you knew of my progress or not, but it is simply a matter of, well, it is symbolical more so than anything. Nobody gets to know all my plans.
It's a wise idea and a similar philosophy, and I would not call you a hypocrite, because I follow the same ideology in this regard.
Good.
I don't want...
Well, tell me, do you want something from me for this? Or do you simply want to tag along and help your wife secure her homelands? You don't have to take a reward for what you will be doing for me. I don't demand that you take my payment.
Yes.
But
I fully understand
you will
that.
help.
I will, but I will also try to take something from you in return. So,
Very well.
May I give a suggestion?
of course.
What if you simply offer my dear wife the choice to pick her reward at a later date?
That is essentially what it is I'm doing. However, I cannot, of course, promise that whatever you demand at a later date will be what I am willing to give you. For instance, if you were to ask for the same things that I've already turned you down for, I will not simply grant it to you just because you asked later. Then it will still be a discussion to be had then. And it is hard to complain when you've done something without knowing what your reward can truly be.
Indeed, indeed. So, how about this? Give me a powerful magical item that is not cursed or controlled by you, and give it to me as a reward for a service well done. As simple as that.
Magic over family. Interesting.
Very well. I will give you a magical item that isn't cursed or controlled by me.
Sounds like
I
a
have-
fair deal.
You neglected to repeat the word powerful.
Because powerful is very much something that is in the eye of the beholder.
Indeed,
All
yet you
magic is
neglected-
powerful to the right person.
Yet you neglected to repeat it, which suggests, by a man who's as careful and as planning as you, suggests that you're
Oh
not
my.
planning to.
Fair enough, a powerful one.
Thank
In
you.
your eyes.
In my eyes.
Sorry for being so bothersome in this regard, but you see, you gotta understand, you are a powerful man, and one
Of course.
not to be taken lightly.
Of course. But yes, fair enough. I will agree to giving you a powerful magical item. Just know that things are semantic.
Of course.
Of course.
I have one more condition. It's a
Go
change
ahead.
in the deal. Instead of renovating the estate, I want to keep.
A keep.
Wherever I decide to be.
Oh, now that becomes increasingly more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
I can offer you a keep, but not wherever you like one. There are places that are simply not plausible to construct or
Every
purchase a keep.
reasonable place.
I would prefer it if I'm given a
Well,
location
I haven't
now.
decided right now where.
In that case, I say the same thing that I said to Dara. Do not be disappointed if you end up
Yes.
suggesting a
Well,
location that I
and-
cannot grant you.
The maintenance of the keep is paid by you.
Maintenance for how long? I am not an immortal man.
Until you're dead. Because if you say you're so powerful, that wouldn't be that much for you.
Could I roll maybe insight or something to see if I could estimate roughly his age?
I mean, you can estimate his age without making a roll.
Alright.
Let me
Just
just
ask him.
double check here. I mean, let me see this. He would be.
So I don't trust this man for a
He would be
second
probably somewhere in his 30s-ish.
Mm-hmm.
30s.
Like probably
And he
And he is
earlier.
human.
Yeah,
He looks
human.
human, right?
Human. Probably closer to his early 30s, maybe mid 30s, but yeah. So, I can promise you a keep. I cannot promise you to maintain it for that long.
How long can you promise me?
You know what? He kind of sits there and thinks for a moment. No. Let's make this the deal. I'm fine with what you proposed. I will give you a keep in an agreed upon location.
Mm-hmm.
And I will maintain it until the day I die.
And that's the deal.
Good.
Great. And I
Then we
will
have the
now-
deal. It seems like we have all come to agreements then.
Lovely.
Yes, and to clarify, I would like to reiterate that mine and my wife's rewards are simply for retrieving in the seal, as you wanted, and for the promise for continued cooperation, if nothing of unforeseen circumstances changes, which would require us to renegotiate for further cooperation.
Essentially, yes. Of course, yours in particular, Arisa, also requires that you fulfill the part of actually taking care of this item in
Yes.
the Dusk Hollow Grove, whereas the
Of
rest
course.
of your agreements
mine
don't
is
necessarily
constituted
constitute that.
Mine is, of course, constituted and already negotiated for the preliminary rewards of 2 job requests that you have put forth. But I want to reiterate the possibility for renegotiation of a different reward or a different scope of the reward in case it turns out that these tasks are more of a hindrance or unforeseen hindrances than you first laid out.
Of course, and I have agreed to renegotiations.
Yes, I'm
However,
just clarifying.
I cannot promise that I will agree to what you demand.
No, of course not. If we put up a renegotiation, it's just that, a negotiation. It is. I'm not retaining any rights for any demands.
I'm getting a headache. Listen,
Storm, I am not surprised. Are you really sure you should be running a country if you cannot do politics?
Well, he's
I'm
someone-
co-king, and I've got a duke, so I'm not doing all. I'm doing the easy.
Ruling.
the less brain.
A diarchy. Diarchies are quite rare, are they not?
Yep.
What?
I assume so.
Cannot say that I know of many diarchies. I know of a triarchy, but not a diarchy.
Where is his
Hierarchy.
tribe?
Well, it depends on if you're talking big scale or small scale.
The triarchy
diarchy-
are far away.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is
It's
simply
far away.
there are many diarchies strewn about if you simply neglect to put it within the boundaries of countries, nor the laws of man.
Well, would you consider a household a monarchy? I wouldn't.
Not necessarily, but however.
Let us not
a
get into
diarchy-
too many semantic discussions here.
Oh,
I've written
you're
down
right.
some more questions. What's your thoughts on Draxonia?
My thoughts on Draxonia.
Should we not conclude this part of the conversation first?
No, let him ask his questions.
Alright.
I believe that Draxonia is a powerful nation.
Okay, are you scared of Draxonia?
I fear nothing.
Nice, good answer. And let's bring it back a bit. What does
You can
the
notice how
that,
Arisa.
Jaxson smuggled out of the Cosmos mansion?
I didn't
do?
hear the first part because both of you spoke.
What does
Sorry.
the book of Lord de Cosmo we smuggled out? Oh,
It was a
Yeah.
page.
Yeah,
Yes.
it wasn't a book. It was a singular page.
page.
What did you want to know about that?
What does it do?
Oh, I cannot tell you that.
Why can't you not tell me that? Is that part of your piece?
Perhaps. Or perhaps I simply don't want you to know.
Great. Next
Or
question.
would you like to renegotiate your deal, perhaps?
No. Do you know what's on the other side of the Vortex Sea?
An interesting question.
Hmm?
Yes, to an extent.
Have you been there?
I don't want to answer that one.
No, you don't. Interesting. And what's to the east?
Well, what is to the east should be easy enough to find out. After all, that is
East
not
of Dawnworld.
Well, east of the Dawn World is a wide expanse of wastelands. As you probably already know.
A bit, yes. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Good. Any other questions? General trivia about the Dawn World, perhaps?
Yes, that would be lovely, but I simply have this question first present. How would we contact you if we have any further assistance, questions, or simply to deliver what you requested?
Well, there are ways. More likely than not, I will find you. Otherwise, if you have any way to perhaps use a sending spell, and that would be one way. You could always contact my, he gestures words, Gage Fawn, and my dear friend here. Otherwise...
And how would we do this?
You know what? Let's simply say that you leave a letter at the Nocturnal Nymph addressed to Gage Fawnen.
Very well. Thank you. Then, other than some casual questions, I think I am satisfied.
Good.
Now on with the mission. Where do we find this queen with the seal or whatever?
Well, where you find the
Let's
queen
conclude
is,
the
of course,
deal.
the queen of
I want to
Osaria.
hear a verbal all round that everybody is satisfied with the deal before we continue
I'm
any
still
discussion.
talking with it.
Everybody has already agreed.
Yep.
I want to hear a verbal confirmation. I'm sorry, I'm paranoid.
I agree.
I agree.
I look over at Storm.
Yeah, I agree.
Very well, I agree. What
Good.
about you?
Well, yes, I do agree as well. Not that that is as
Excellent. Then we
necessary.
have come to an agreement.
Now,
But yeah, I agreed with Kessler. Not yeah.
No, we're all agreeing on our own separate.
Yeah, indeed.
But
yes, the queen, Queen Elysia of Osaria. She is the reigning queen of this kingdom that we're in. She lives in the palace, not all that far away, within the walls of the city, of course. What else do you want to know about her in particular?
Does she always carry around this seal?
She has ways of giving it to those that are deserving. Now, getting it is, of course, the difficult part.
so the seal is
more
not
people than-
unique. Is this perhaps the same seal that would be given to a champion of some kind?
No, although if you become a champion of the arena, you will be given an audience with the queen. Now, that is, of course, one way of going about it. Gaining an audience with her and then speaking to her, trying to make sure that you secure some sort of, shall we say, deal where you are granted a seal.
Can we steal someone else's seal?
You can, of course. There are seals a little bit here and there across the city. However, most of the holders are either renowned scholars that are very well protected, or powerful mages, former elites of the Arcanum that have now found themselves working at the Queen's court. It would be difficult to trick one into giving it to you or to steal it. The mages all have very protected residences and keep their seals close by.
If they have something valuable as a seal, they have something else of value, probably.
Probably, but let me point out that if one would be caught losing their seal, it is punished by execution.
Like that's gonna stop me.
No, I'm simply letting you know that if you steal somebody's seal, make sure that you don't like them too much, because if they are caught without it, they will be killed for
Oh,
it.
they get killed.
Oh, yes. If you are granted a seal, you swear to protect it with your life.
Oh my lord.
Mm-hmm. And how do you earn one if you're not a mage?
There are
Make a
different
deal.
ways. I'm sure that if you proved your interest in scholarly matters to the Queen and completed a task for her that was sufficient enough, that would certainly be a way.
But to clarify, you want the seal, not just access.
The seal is the only way to get access, I'm afraid. Unless you want to march a
let's say
smaller
one of us
army
were
into the
granted it.
library.
Let's say one of us were granted the seal. Would it be sufficient enough to let you in?
Well, you are not allowed entry without the seal.
Can you bring someone with you if you have
No. And trust me, as I said, you would
I
need
see.
a lesser army to force your way inside.
No, I see, but I presume that you could bring in trusted visitors, and as you said, if we were to be granted the seal through proper channels, then losing it could be punishable by death.
Of course.
So I was simply thinking, if we were to take that avenue, could we just simply let you in? And your answer is no.
Well, if you find a way. However, I'm not sure I would put my neck out that easily to be caught without a seal. That, too, is of course punishable by death, to be in the private wing without a seal.
And we can't retrieve whatever it is you want from the...
Oh, I'm afraid I don't trust you enough for such a task. Not yet, anyway.
That is very fair.
I guess stealing from the private
Could you
wing
describe the seal for us?
The seal is... How does one describe it? A small circular plate made of metal and stone that can be worn around your neck, although it would be quite heavy. It has inscriptions that make it recognizable, and it is extremely difficult to make a fake one.
These inscriptions and letters, what do they say?
It's more like patterns and intricate details.
Very well.
You will know it when you see it, do not worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we need more information than that.
And is there any regard about silence? I presume you do not want people to know about this little endeavor that you are on.
I will need to be able to get in and out before it is known that that seal is missing.
Yes, but simply...
Provided that you don't get it yourself.
Hypothetically, not that is on the table, but let's say hypothetically, to this and other, of course, quests you would grant us. Let's say I were to ask the Queen, because somehow I would gain the favor enough to ask a request. Could I simply tell that you seek to be granted temporary access to it, or do you wish to remain anonymous?
The Queen cannot know that I intend to get in there, no.
I presumed so. I wanted to make sure. I do not want to tick you off by accident. Trust me. If I intend to tick you off, I intend to do it on purpose.
Good. No, the Queen cannot know that I intend to get in there. Nor can it be known throughout the city that a seal has gone missing. Not until I am already done with my quest.
How long will it take?
Don't worry about it, not very long. But simply from the time you have stolen it, make sure it is not known for at least a day.
Okay.
Where are these seals made? Or are there only a finite number of them? Could we, for example, try and get to them before they are delivered?
I am quite confident that the Queen's court mage creates them specifically for each individual that is granted one. As far as I can tell, they are, to an extent, unique. And can, if missing, be traced back to their owner.
Very well. I think that is all from me.
Same here.
Excellent. Then I'd simply have 2 suggestions for starting points. One is, of course, that you, through one means, through some way or another, manage to get an audience with the Queen and offer your services to her. Alternatively, there is a scholar at court, a man named Barnabas Ignis, who is known to hold one of the seals, and also just happens to be known for being very trusting of people. I'm sure that there is some way that you can manipulate him, or steal the seal from him, by simply gaining trust enough to find out where he keeps it.
Could you repeat his name?
Barnabas Ignis.
Thank you.
I recognize the last name, I think. But...
He's technically one of the southern gods that is named Ignis.
Okay. Yeah.
Might be that, I don't know.
Okay,
I feel like there's some amount of fantasy.
I just
name.
realized that I forgot to state that I have taken up my book and started noting down stuff. I realized I
Yeah,
Dorm
nobody's gonna stop you for it.
stands
No,
up,
but-
takes the chair, puts it under the table again, reaches his hand. Thanks for your contribution. See you again soon with a seal at hand.
He kind of carefully extends his hand, takes yours, shakes it, and then retracts it, unless anybody else also extends theirs.
Keep a weather eye out. And I start walking up.
Yeah, I will also leave, put the chair in, but I won't shake his hand.
I too won't shake his hand.
I simply nod, stand up, and takes my leave.
Okay, so as you get to the top of the stairs, Storm, you get there first since you were the first to start
Sure.
heading out.
I wait on the others when I'm up.
The doors to the cabinet were shut behind you by Arisa as you headed
Yep.
inside. And as you feel them, you realize that they've been locked. And you hear Kessler from below just say, "Go on, let them out." And you hear a key turn, and you see as the doors open, the 3 street kids that were standing further down the street, just kind of watching people, are now standing outside. One of them being the one who unlocks the cabinet.
What are you looking at, kid? Move along.
Scoffs at you as you walk past.
We're out of Narnia, can't you see?
Oh,
I mean, yes.
Lead.
Of course.
And I wait for the others outside the door.
Alright.
Outside door, not
Yep.
kid the door.
Yeah, I mean, all of you come up at that point, and you, I assume, walk out of the house, all of you.
Yep.
All right, you're out in the street. You see the old man is still asleep, with the kids kind of playing in the front yard.
Arisa gives a clear visual shuddering of clearly disturbed by the entire conversation.
Great deals all around. What did you guys think?
I'm satisfied.
Well, I don't think making deals with the devil is a good idea.
Says the Warlock.
Yet,
Okay. The irony does not
That
end.
is so stupid.
yet I feel like it would be preferable than to be making deals with this man.
Why are you guys so against a man you just met? I do not understand.
Why are you simply so trusting?
Because I get gold.
Well, you don't. Not yet. You will only get your kingdom recognized
And that
until you do
leads
something
to
else.
gold.
Yes. Probably.
I don't understand why you guys are so against the co-workers all of a sudden. Not even you, Jaxson. What is going on?
I'm not problematic with the co-workers. I am
Nice.
problematic with Kessler. I don't want to reveal any information to him that is
Yes,
not.
but your wife and Jaxson does not want to be in a group anymore.
Well,
Yet
It's
now
simply
we're-
that I
I
have
could-
never been a part of the co-workers, officially. Nor do I like getting
No
clunked
one
in
has
your
ever
shenanigans where you broke me in to assassination plots that do not concern me, nor
I have never tried to do that.
yet you keep
Yeah,
claiming that I should be denoted as part of your group and that therefore or we should
No one
all
ever joined. I just call you lads my co-workers.
So,
And that's why we all are
I-
co-workers.
so I just said that I left before. I never said I wouldn't join again.
Nice. Welcome back, Jaxson. Aren't you joining again?
Well, it depends on how this turns out.
Well, I guess.
If it just turns out shit, might as well just. Well, we just have to see. But I
Yep.
think it will benefit us all.
if we should be calling each other co-workers, then we have to
Well,
actually be beneficial towards each other and not hamper and hinder each other.
Alright. We have always been kind of nice to each other.
some of us at least.
And we all make great things for each other. Like, we just got rich. Jaxson wasn't there in then, but
Yeah.
you know, sadly. We earned
Well, I have money in
sapphires,
other way.
and we even could have become rich by mist brew, but you know, that was an old plan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I will not deny that certain materialistic factors have been gained through association. However, there are more to this world than materialistic things.
That's just in the eye of the beholder. Like your loved one here just asked for a magic item instead of helping others.
Well,
Because I don't want to reveal important information to him. I want to keep my hand secret from him.
I can understand.
And we turn the table from being forced or to do something without any reward to gaining something that potentially can help her with whatever she decides to do in the future.
Dara
This
is
way
the
I
one
can.
he
However,
uses
I feel
least.
like I need to have a walk and think about things.
Well,
this
there's
way
no
I
going
can-
back now.
I do not understand though why you would play your hand secret when he just said to Arisa that he would never touch Dusk Hollow Grove
But
and help
she
it.
might have She might have stuff under the rock.
Yeah. And
I
that's,
don't want to
then
give
she
him
says,
anything that he
"Don't
can
touch
use as
under the rock."
leverage. I don't want to give him any information that he can use as a leverage.
Leverage
Sometimes
to
it's
what?
better to say nothing than anything. You know?
Right, Jaxson. Anyway, I'm taking a walk. I
Alright.
started heading towards the harbor district. Just
Alright.
walking.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we need to plan now what we are going to do. I believe that we should go for Mr. Ignis, or
I say we first do the arena and
Right.
see if
well,
we
when
can
it's
win
up.
that.
You know.
I
You
mean,
have
it
to
would
sign
be
us up.
well.
Right,
the thing is-
you want an
They
audience with
start actually planning instantly before I get too far away, or do they?
That's why you
Yeah.
have to walk
Seems
away
like it
all
was
the
pretty
time.
instant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering because it is
you're away.
I mean, like,
like, did you wait or
Well,
not?
you have a pretty high passive perception, and Storm pretty much started talking almost exactly as you.
I mean, you would
walked
probably
away,
just
so-
have turned around.
You would pretty much hear Storm say like, "Okay, I guess we need to plan now."
No, Jaxson said that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, Jaxson.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Sorry, Storm.
I
You
would
don't
say,
have a plan.
the last thing I say before I leave, then I continue walking. As soon as I hear that, I'll look into the Ignis fella.
Alright.
Okay.
what if we all?
and then
Well,
just-
well, she's probably going to find some information, but
That's good. That's reasonable.
but
Well,
I
I
believe
think
that
that
it
we
should be a good idea to try to also go for the championship to gain an audience with the queen.
You know that.
It's not
Wait,
really-
I'm so wait. She just left and said she was by us stealing the seal from Ignis. She's sentencing him to death.
Yes,
You guys
that,
heard that right?
well,
And that's the first.
I
thing
couldn't
that
really
I
care
wanted to
less
do.
about his life, really.
that's why she's just going to see if who is this Ignis fellow? Do we want to sentence him to a certain death?
Well,
And so
I
on.
would rather get
Okay.
someone else killed instead of getting myself killed. Because
Yeah,
if we
of course.
do the battle, it's a battle to the death, and it's 2-on-2 or 1-on-1, and it
Also, we have
it won't be you, Dara, who is in the
Yeah.
arena.
I have
for
no
sure.
intention of being there. I believe it's better
Yes,
than
and-
any other coworker should be.
So that's the thing, though, that the other coworkers have to put their life in danger to fulfill that plan. That's why we should go with the plan.
Yeah, I
That
think
doesn't-
that plan is
in
perfect.
danger.
Jaxson and Fritz.
I mean, they are a good fit, though.
Storm's like, "Who are the best two fighters that aren't me?"
Exactly.
He doesn't even have to put in aren't me because he's not in top.
I mean, if we put in Fritz and Arisa, then we have two tanks. Try taking out that.
Yeah.
that. But anyway, we could always try to do 2 teams for the championship and see if that works. But
Well, so you mean that if
Ah.
one team dies, the other team tries?
Dara and Risa, Jaxson and
Whoa,
Fritz.
whoa,
that-
whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm just gonna clarify here. The way you would have been given the information is that only the Grandmaster title is locked
Yes.
behind
Like
a certain
Oh,
death thing.
yeah, right.
You can become a
you need
champion without
So you
killing
need the
people.
Grandmaster. You
Yeah.
need the Grandmaster to get the audience for the Queen. So
Only
Wait,
becoming the
no.
Grandmaster will, or
Yeah.
I can't remember. Maybe you wait. Let me just.
I
double
think
check.
it-
I think it was the champion you needed to get an audience with the
Yeah,
queen.
actually,
and
I think that
get a
is-
chance
I
to.
think, I think that's only the. I think that's the Grandmasters that get it.
I'm
I
pretty
thought
sure.
it was
it was.
something better if you won against the Grandmasters.
I think you gain an audience with the queen and something else.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was like the step up.
And the champion just gains something which haven't been disclosed.
Champion might maybe it's the thing that just gains you the right to challenge the Grandmaster.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
actually
pretty
what I
much.
thought.
Like, there are rewards to being a champion as well, obviously, because it means
Yeah.
that you're basically in the highest tier of fighters. The only exception being the grandmasters, who are like.
Oh, there are multiple grandmasters?
Well, as it was explained, this year there are 2 grandmasters, but every kind of season they change how the rules work for that particular time frame. So as of this year, there are 2 grandmasters, and so everybody who is competing for the grandmaster title must fight in pairs, or you can try to do it solo, but obviously you'll be at a disadvantage.
Well, I would just say that we can try to become champions as a group of 4 or 5.
I believe it's best to go as many as possible for the champion title, and then to take out the 2 most capable in the grandmaster title.
Yes. Well, I
Although
don't
it
think we should do the grandmaster title before we do the other.
Well, we have to first gain a champion title in the first place.
Yes. But I believe that we should.
Contact Fritz. That
We should-
fucking shithead is always. What is he doing? Like
I
he's
have no
scared.
idea.
It's like Fritz is stuck somewhere in traffic trying to get to you guys.
Yeah.
Stuck at home.
Fritz be like stuck at a red light somewhere in the crafters district. But man, why doesn't he?
He's on a ship on his way down here, but the Thromeran, or like the blockade by the Thromeran border, is just getting in the way.
No, guys, you're thinking too complex. It's simply he put on his pants, then he can't find his belt buckle, so he can't buckle the pants. Like, he can't go out there indecent.
Yeah.
He's too disciplined.
Anyway,
Okay, so plan. We go for the arena. Both the
Gauntlet and
yeah, nice. They're hopefully 2 different days. Then we try to talk with the queen about something to get a seal. I don't want to hold the seal. One of you can be the one who holds.
well, it would probably be the one who is the champion. Or those.
Yeah,
well,
right.
One
So
reason why I
Jaxson or
would
Fritz
do
will
that
hold that.
fight.
Well, while I may be charismatic, I am not a fighter. I would probably die pretty close soon.
I won't put my life in danger twice.
Me twice.
If I lose the seal, which I will because
Oh, you mean like that?
then
Yeah, we
I
I have a plan. We trick Fritz.
no.
Take the seal. He does
I-
not
I-
know. He does not know that the seal will that Santa seal. Oh, that's a great idea. And then-
I mean, I don't think we should do that.
You can he's gonna get the information about Kessler and everything. He's gonna go to Delanui. Delanui will make it good with this country, and he will never be killed because Clarice talk with Oseria.
Or we just go with the plan where no one in our group dies, or at
I
risk.
mean-
So we attack a freaking deathly
So-
mage.
I
Instead.
mean,
No,
if
no,
only
we don't
if
attack.
only someone like Tockby Birdson could take the sigil and just get out.
Well, the thing here is that
No.
No, I wouldn't say that. With this mage, he said that he trusts people too easily, and if we get him to trust us, we will know where the seal is.
You don't know if he's a
and
mage,
everything.
he's a scholar.
Oh,
was
got
what
it.
we were told.
I've got the new plan. Someone that just fakes their name, and then they write down that name under the seal,
I
and
don't-
then he
You
uses his
said-
real name.
Tockby
you
Birdson
know
and
that-
just like that.
Kessler said that they could trace back the seal to its owner.
Yeah. Also, I
Just
don't
because
think
you have a different name, it will still
How
be
do you?
traced. back to you.
Oh, yeah, right. Spell.
I don't yeah
Also.
I well
Yes. So
For
we should
example,
just go
Storm.
with Ignis.
if
Ignis.
you were, for example, to have another name and someone were to scry on you, they would still be able to scry on you because they know who you are.
Yeah.
understand?
This mage stuff is pretty new with me. They don't have many mages on the sea.
Except
can
Tassie.
Huh?
Tassie, or
Yeah, now I guess.
Yeah. Do you forget your co-king? Or duke, or whatever he is nowadays?
No, he's not. He's he's co-king of. Yes, nice.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
but he is no freaking captain or nothing. He just what?
at downgrade.
What?
Storm be like captain, king, co-worker, and so on, mama. Captain is of course high.
So you know that king or co-king is higher than a captain.
No. Yeah, but I have both the titles, so why does it matter?
Yeah.
People are
Fair
going to
enough.
refer, if they're going to refer you by proper title, they will refer to you as co-king Storm then, not Captain Storm.
King Captain Storm. Captain King Storm.
Pirate King Storm. Does that work?
But I'm no pirate anymore.
Well, former Pirate King Storm.
Perfect.
Storm is a bit of a landlubber these days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
horrible.
Landlubber, former Pirate King Storm.
Okay, we test our lucks in the gauntlet. We'll see what happens there, and if it goes great, then we we can see what the deal is or anything. And then otherwise, because we can just steal everything behind the seal
Well,
and become rich.
theoretically, it is a
Probably
possibility
track
that
down.
we don't defeat the champion. Therefore, we have the second opportunity.
All right. No. You know what? If we don't defeat the champion, two of us will be dead.
Yeah, that too.
No,
That's why we should not do that plan first.
So, Storm, your destiny is still around.
Mine too.
What about it?
Your
Yeah, what about-
destiny! You will be perfect, meat shields.
Well, why can't we just go with the plan where no one dies?
And what's
Well-
the step?
Well, except the scholar. But that's none of us, so I should be there.
Yeah, but that
Like,
that
when
is
did
still.
you care
I
about
don't
people?
see. I see defeating a high mage harder, and also
only-
have to talk with him,
Solar.
gain his trust.
Well, he
Yeah.
seemed to be very friendly, apparently.
Yes. He
So
trusts
maybe
people easily.
Although he's still a mage. I think.
Arisa, you can flirt with him. Just become something, you know.
Yeah.
Dara.
Okay, like this. I can help if we do the arena route, but I can't flirt with a fucking.
Sure, you can just,
Or-
you know, like alter yourself, become a bit more, you know.
It's the disguise self. And if he has
alright.
if it's true sight, or if he's smart enough, he can see through
You
it.
know, you like flirting with others.
That's
fucking
right.
Arisa.
Hell, you already done with Helga, so why not once again?
Last time you saw me pull out a dagger.
Well, I stopped you in time. We will be there to stop you in time.
Dagger
don't-
to do what? What?
She tried to kill Helga because I wouldn't let her out.
Oh my god, I don't remember that.
Don't you remember? It was basically you wanted to wait until the absolute last moment because you wanted to make it even more awkward so she could kiss
wanted-
Dara. Dara
We-
wanted to
we
stop
did
the
that.
kiss. And
Yeah,
you
she
were like,
pulled out a
she-
dagger and started, like, you guys intervened because you saw that Dara, like, started preparing to strike her in the back with a dagger or something like that.
Oh, but wait, I thought
So I
you got the kiss. I'm pretty
she
sure
got the kiss. You just wanted to
But,
wait
like, she started
until-
making out with Dara.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
like,
that's
the
why.
plan was that you were gonna knock her you were gonna knock Helga out when she, like, approached Dara, but then I'm
Yep.
guessing Storm was like, no, let's wait and see. And so as Helga just kept going,
Storm wants to look at that. I think it was fucking Jaxson.
Jaxson that wanted
Jaxson
to
was
do
the one who
it.
smacked them in the head with the
Yeah,
pole.
but it was because you wouldn't kill her, but it was Jaxson was going to smack her from the first, so he waited so that, like, to torture Dara.
Yeah, alright. Well,
So basically, it started with Tockby Birdson and Jaxson. Oh, boink on the first guy, change into him,
Horrible.
go into Helga's room, getting her down there. Oh, look, now we're gonna bonk her in the head. Oh, wait, we're gonna look at this. This is awkward as
Yeah.
well. And now, boink.
Okay, so we don't have to become champions in the arena, but we can go the both routes and then see whatever. Yeah, it's just
we can become a champion, but not grand champion in the beginning.
I think that. Yeah.
Well,
Because the other one isn't a fight to the death.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Great.
right, then we have a plan.
Yep. Now we
Should we go check if
show
they
up.
have updated it? Well, yeah, we will just sign us up as 5 because
Sign up everyone at this moment.
Yes.
I believe that is the best idea.
Should we just go back to the arena and sign us up and check if they have any updates on the match?
Yeah, let's do that.
Would be a good idea. Hopefully we can still go for the arena. And not
Arena
on-
will go.
okay.
Arenan we go to.
Dun, dun,
So all of you head over to the Alder Queen's arena. The arena of the Alder Queen.
Yes.
You check the notice board, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's still nothing. Seems like they
Yeah,
updated
I
in the
don't-
mornings because Storm and Jaxson, or Storm didn't look at it in the morning, but Jaxson, you see that it's the same thing.
Okay, can I see one of the, like, the one you sign up with? Or the different people?
Yeah, there are a couple of
I will
people.
go to someone else.
Yeah,
No, same.
you see the same guy.
Yeah. I point when Jaxson tried to go, so go to him.
Okay, fine. I will go to him.
Okay, so you go and you stand in the line for the same guy that you approached last time. See, as he finishes up with the person before, just kind of says like, "Next!"
Kept Storm back to Travis.
Be gone! Be gone!
What? Why? We're just gonna
I
sign
told
up.
you to go speak to one of my colleagues.
But this was the shortest line, so pick this one.
Or,
The shortest line.
or do you want to complain to your superior? Because I'm willing to
Be
do that right now.
war!
Anyway, can
Who's
we
your
just
superior?
sign up and get this over with and just...
Who is your superior? I want to
Are all of you going to behave better this time?
Yes, of course.
Yes, they will behave like good little children. Now,
And nobody
please.
goes speaking with any superiors here.
Sign up
I-
5 to the arena as well. Yes, a
Yes.
tournament.
Thank you
And-
for actually giving details this time around.
Can we sign up another one for the gauntlet?
Keep-
Because nothing has changed on the notice board.
You want to sign up for another gauntlet run?
No.
No.
Another
add
person
one member.
probably
the
wants
gauntlet
to
run.
join.
So you don't want to do the gauntlet run that is currently being worked on?
What?
Yes,
No.
your gauntlet run is being prepared, and that... I told you that it would
let's
take
leave the
time
gauntlet.
before there was an announcement. Are you too eager to...
Well, it's just one
Leave
day.
the gauntlet. Leave the gauntlet run.
Okay, so you don't
Right,
want
okay,
Arisa to join?
I believe it's a problematic if
I
we
told you the first time around that you could not make changes to your scheduling.
But I thought you could that because you haven't written
I
it down.
very explicitly said that you
Storm,
cannot make changes last time.
Storm, he made a very
Yeah.
quick... He did say quite clearly that... you
Several
can't-
times.
Okay.
Because you are unclear all the time about... Look, it takes time to process. We don't just throw you into the arena with just about anything that we can find off the streets. We import things. We find things that suit you. We make sure that it is a crowd-pleasing battle. It takes time.
So how long will it be before it's...
Well, it is currently being processed, so check back every day until you see the announcement.
And how long
If
would
it's
you
going to
think
be
it
7
would be
days
now?
or it's going to be 2 days, I have other business to take care of.
Well,
area
I suppose you will have to wait and see.
Okay.
Good.
No.
What did you say? You
Is
say
there not-
no?
I will check back tomorrow morning.
Good. Excellent. Fantastic. Tremendous.
Great. Now, have you signed up us?
Do you have a superior?
For the arena?
Do you have a superior? I would like to talk to your superior.
Yeah.
Who's the leader of this little group?
We don't. Yeah, here we have it.
Tornado.
Pull out Tornado was sleeping and just goes like...
I put him close to his
Takes
face.
he steps back. He's terrified. Get down!
It's the superior.
Take it away.
You won't
Put it
be-
away. Put it away right now. I'm
Well,
this
you
close
said
to
you
disqualifying you from competing in the arena ever.
Okay, Tornado, go back.
I'm this close to blacklisting all of you forever.
Okay, Storm, let's move away. We don't want to make him angry. Let's not go into any superiors or managers or whatever you want to call them and leave him in peace.
Okay, so Storm, Jaxson, Arisa, Dara, and Fritz sign up for the arena. Perfect.
Did I ask?
No, but I told you so you didn't have to ask.
Darisa, Fritz, Stortaz the Storm King,
I've told you my name 4 times.
Jaxington,
No.
and who was the last one?
I was Captain Storm. King
It's Jaxson,
of
Gillstar.
Stortaz.
Then maybe you should have waited until I asked.
No. Why would that make anything better?
Because I would be ready to write it down.
You had the pen in your hand and the paper.
And I was writing something else at the moment, okay?
What the hell were you doodling? Okay. Okay, so let's repeat this again. This is Dara.
D-A-R.
Think I know how to spell.
This is
It didn't seem like
Oh.
that.
Wait.
okay.
Write
It's
something
4
else.
letters. It doesn't take the...
Silence!
He's doing calligraphy, man. Can't break the calligraphy.
Now, the first name, please.
What?
Dara.
How did you spell that?
Would you like to have a last name on there?
Yes, Raethran.
No way he spells that right. I check on the board. On the paper.
You see that it is correctly spelled.
Nice. Well, he
I
can't
mean,
spell.
it is of the Elvish. It's in Elvish, so even if it's the Under Rock version, so.
Next name.
Captain
I'm not-
Storm, King of Stortaz.
Isn't it Coast King?
But I can't call it whatever. It's co-king, but I'm also king, so.
Right.
Yes. Next.
Jaxson Gillstar.
The title.
Sir Jaxson Gillstar.
He takes the paper, tears it in half, puts it away, and takes a new one and starts writing from the beginning. Pretty much takes like a few minutes to write the entire information thing again, only to then be. Are you having fun? First name, please.
Dara.
And he starts over, and it just takes like an eternity for him to get through all of this, because that one small edit. But eventually he manages to kind of like get to the end of it. So, now, is there anything else?
Did it just to ask the DM? Did we say Arisa?
Yeah,
and Fritz?
you went through all of them eventually. I would assume, unless you intentionally left something out.
No, we would have done that one.
So, would you perhaps like your tournament breakfast to be gluten-free?
No.
Vegan.
No, that's right,
Is that
because
an
you don't
option?
get one!
What? You don't? Why did you even...
It was a joke, because you're an extremely demanding people.
AKA sarcasm. So, I believe we're done here. I start moving away, hopefully.
Storm, let's go.
Thank you for your contribution.
Well, we are not done here.
Oh, we are not?
Group name as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
The co-workers.
Now we are done. And, as I said last time, in the future, please contact one of my colleagues. Thank you.
That's quite...
How many of his colleagues, just a quick question, how many of his colleagues are out there?
Like 3 of them.
Do all of them look as grumpy as he does?
That's quite a ego move.
Sort of.
I think we should get him fired.
You take...
I can hear you!
On others.
I wasn't talking about you.
Okay, and I move.
Jaxson, also known as Karen. Can I talk to your manager?
Yeah. I mean, this entire thing is basically just, can I talk to your manager?
Yeah,
Turns him.
Jaxson wants him to get fired. What the fuck, man?
So let's put this on Tales from Retail or something like that.
Oh.
Shooting beggars.
Nah, that's different.
He's not choosing beggar thing.
Malicious compliance.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so...
Yeah, I will go back to the nocturnal.
Right.
I would also do that.
Sure. So, Arisa, in the meantime, what would you like to do?
Well, as stated, I took a stroll. Arisa have been taking a stroll for about 30 minutes or so down the docks, just clearing her head.
Yeah.
How long does it take roughly to traverse the entire length of the dock?
From northernmost part to the southernmost?
Yeah, roughly.
Let me just bring out the map. I mean, it would take a while.
More to get a feeling for, like, after half an hour, how far I would have gotten.
Half an hour? Well, are you heading...
South.
Right. I mean... You would have gotten maybe like half... a little more than halfway, I'd say.
So, around the Palace district.
Sort of, yeah.
Perfect. At that point, Arisa snaps out of it and actually starts heads to a secluded area.
Mm-hmm.
Then, did she ever find out how this Barnabas fella looked like?
Nope. You know, he's a scholar who is
That's all, yeah.
to some extent working at the Queen's Court. That's about it.
No, man, not head to a secluded. Starts heading into the palace district and take a look around.
Sure.
Specifically, I want to see when I was flying the day prior.
Yeah.
Did I find any? Like, did I notice maybe a library or something like that, or something where I could, or a park maybe in the palace district or something? A garden, like sure, there's the garden district, yes.
Right. Well, that's kind of like how the city is structured. Is that each district has like a theme. So it's like if you want a garden, you'd pretty much have to go to the garden district. Like the palace grounds have some like private gardens, but the nice big ones that are more than just a few feet of grass would be in the garden district. As for the library, that would be library district.
Okay. Right. I forgot actually that there was a library district.
Yeah.
Oops.
It is north of the palace district.
Mm-hmm.
Or not north, east.
Oh, there it is.
I need to turn this map around.
Yeah, I would be heading through the palace district, and like, unless I saw something when I was flying, specifically that I could think I might encounter a scholar or something,
Right.
I would be heading towards the library.
Okay.
Or library district.
Well, I think this is probably a good point to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Because I've been trying to, with the information I've been getting from our dear friend Fritz, I've been trying to kind of like time it so that hopefully he will be here by the time the break is over, or by the time we're ready to continue. So this should be a good time, I hope. Because he's close to home at this point.
Can we define
He is
close?
already on the tram on his way to, like he's on the last leg of the journey.
Oh, that's pretty close.
So he said that he should be
Yeah, that's
home in
cool.
like 10 to, probably like 10, 15 minutes-ish. So then the question is how quickly he can be on the computer and whatnot. But yeah, we will take a break there and then we will resume with Arisa being kind of around the library area and whatnot. So yeah, we will be back soon. So see you then. Don't go anywhere.
Peace out.
Hello. Let me fix the overlay. But we're live. There we. No, that's the wrong overlay. We need more people there. That's the one.
Lovely.
Welcome back. We now have Fritz with us finally. After several hours of trying to reach
to make
his
my way
home.
back.
But now we're all here for about another hour or so of intense role playing and gaming. So, where we last left off, Arisa, you were headed towards the library district. However, I think since Fritz is finally here, we're just gonna do a quick little thing with him. Hopefully, it's quick.
Sure.
So, Fritz, you've spent the first part of the day, like this is the same day still that you were confronted while having your sandwich and whatnot.
Right.
But it's now like maybe early afternoon or so. So you're taking care of some of the things that you wanted to take care of, and you've headed off to the tavern where you agreed to kind of like hang out in case Arisa wanted to contact you and stuff.
Right.
So you're sitting there, and there is this elf that comes in and approaches you and says, Fritz, is it?
Yes.
Right. Your friends wanted to meet with you. They sent me as a messenger.
And who are you, if I may ask?
Let me check the name here. My name is... Where do I have it? There's a long list of people here that I need to go through to find the right one.
The first thing I do when I get back is like, oh wait, hold on, let me just let this.
The name is Meliga. I work as a messenger here. They said that they found some information about somebody that you're all looking for.
Does Fritz, does it seem shady, or does it seem legit?
I mean, it's
like an.
He could very well be a messenger. I mean, he's dressed in very like common clothes and stuff. Looks like.
Can I insight check that?
You can.
Like, my. Oh, not. What do I add? Like.
Wisdom, unless you're. If you're not proficient, you add your wisdom. Otherwise, it's insight.
I don't really know if I have anything. Well, I got a nat 17 though. So,
oh.
So 17.
There's definitely something shady to this.
Right.
It's kind of in a bit of a hurry, you know.
Who's the said friend who sent you?
Storm.
Well, it's definitely shady now.
They're in a strange house in the outer parts of the Hollows. Apparently there is something that they need you for. They weren't able to leave themselves to come fetch you, so they just happened upon me on the streets and sent me over here.
Right. Fritz thinks it's strange that he wouldn't just see Storm himself barge in and make you interest if he was needed, but I guess Fritz kind of reluctantly follows.
Okay.
He doesn't have a massive brain, so he think he might be able to figure something out by following him.
Right. So he leads you through the hollows that you're in towards the kind of outskirts, and there is this this seemingly abandoned house that just stands there in between some other less abandoned but still kind of not top tier houses. You see him just point towards that one. I think the door is open. They said that they were downstairs. There was a hidden door or something.
Yeah, I enter.
Okay. Yeah, he just kind of stays behind and just says like, right, send your friends my regards, I guess. And then just starts kind of walking away. So you're in this kind of L-shaped room. There are some stairs going up, and you see this this cabinet that is kind of on the right side of the room, next to the stairs, and they're open. And you see through it there are some stairs going down.
Okay. Wait. You said there was an L-shaped room.
Yeah. There's like a kitchen if you look towards the like deepest part. And there's like a table. Most of the furniture is busted. Really only like the table is whole, that in the cabinet.
Okay. Yeah, I go to the stairs.
Okay, so it's pretty much pitch black downstairs. You can hear some like faint voices coming from down there.
Is it? Do I hear enough for it to be like potentially recognizable?
No, not really. It's very faint.
Okay. Well, I wake my way down the stairs.
Okay. So, do you use any light source since you don't have dark vision, or do you just feel your way down?
No, he just kind of feels his way down.
All right. So you feel your way down.
Fritz is he kind of just like throughout the time he's walking, he just really tries to like really hear what's being said, or like if he recognizes the voices.
Sure. Are you trying to be stealthy, or?
I mean, not necessarily, I guess, but more like just like walking cautiously.
Yeah. So you walk down the stairs, and as you reach the bottom, the voices go silent, and you hear a quick sound, and you see a match that is being lit, and in the light from it, the first thing you see is a man with a red mustache, red hair, who just kind of like takes this match and lights a candle on a desk, and behind the desk you see another man, dark, kind of black hair, average physique. Doesn't really look like he does a lot of physical labor, but he's not like fat or super skinny by any means, just kind of like average.
Right.
Has a bit of a slight roundness to his face, probably like early 30s-ish, dressed in very fine clothes. Yeah, he has dark brown hair. I don't know if I said black, but it's dark brown. That's kind of same color as his eyes as well. Just sits there, looks at you with a bit of a smile. You see next to him there's a man in grey robes with a featureless mask. In the back there's some sort of mage. There are these two mercenary looking people. One elf with golden hair and skin. The other a furbolg with two scars that line up like an X over her face. And then there's like another 8 people in the far back. And the man behind the desk just says, well, hello there. Greetings, Fritz. I'm glad that you could finally come. Please have a seat. And you see that there are some chairs that are on that side of the desk.
Right.
Go on, please.
Do I recognize him?
No. But he apparently knows who you are.
Who are you?
Well, I was going to get to that, and he stands up and he does this big theatrical bow and says, I am the mastermind known as Kessler. Now, please, again, go on ahead and sit down. I would like to have a quick talk to you.
Yeah, Fritz approaches the chairs.
Now, I've already talked to your friends. I'm sorry about the deception, by the way. They are not here anymore. They left some time ago. Now, I simply want to make a quick deal with you. I know, by the way, that you are with the Night Eye Brigade. I was the one who managed to get you down here. I set up a bit of a trail to make Clarice de la Nuit know that I was in the area so that she would send somebody down here to deal with me. However, I of course also let her know that the outcasts would the co-workers would be assembled here as well, just to spark her interest a little bit extra with the hopes that she would send you. And it seems like my plan worked perfectly. So, I want to make a deal with you. Are you interested?
Well, what's the deal?
He goes over the thing with the Queen's seal, the same things that I told you that the others have been told. He pretty much wants that. Says that the others have all decided to make some sort of deal with him. And then he says, so, does that sound appealing to you? And if so, what do you want in return? Trust me, I'm a very powerful man. I can make anything, with a few clauses, of course, come true.
Well, sounds very tempting, but I'm gonna have to decline.
Well, I don't think you will, no. You are going to accept this deal, of course. I cannot prevent you, but I think it is in your best interest to do so. After all, you are affiliated with this group, and your colonel is technically not really very fond of me at the moment, even though I do provide her with useful information. But you see, you are affiliated with a group, the co-workers, that, for lack of a better word, have history with me, whether they knew it or not at the time. And therefore I hold all members responsible. So, you can agree, or you can leave and accept the consequences of turning me down. Now I'm sure I can make it worthwhile, though. Don't worry, I'm not just going to kill you. You may leave if you want to. But there will be consequences.
Well,
if you can't think of anything that you want in return, then you are of course free to decline my reward and simply do my bidding either way. Alternatively, I could suggest something, perhaps.
well, I don't know much you know about me, but I'm a fairly simple man. I'd rather just stick to my brigade.
But do you know what people you are working for? Do you have any morals, Fritz?
Well, I would say I do.
Then you wouldn't want to do the bidding of evil people for the rest of your life, now would you? It would be preferable to simply do a quick service for somebody bad and then be done with it. Wouldn't it?
Someone could put it that way, yeah.
Then I should be the lesser of two evils. Tell you what, you do this task for me, and I will give you information about the de la Nuit family that will change your view, and if you so desire, you will be able to bring them down. This information is very valuable. If nothing else, you can probably sell it, make a fortune, and live the rest of your life in peace somewhere else. And if you're worried about the Nighttide Brigade, I'm willing to throw in a bit of protection from them as an extra benefit.
Well, that does sound tempting, but I must decline. Then Fritz stands up and starts walking away.
Don't walk out just yet, come on. Hear me out. You see, let me just... Opens the door close. You see... How do I begin this? Venetta de la Nuit, the eldest of the four sisters. You probably have heard of her if you haven't met her already. She is probably the worst of the sisters. Clarice is not too big of a deal. But the elder sisters are certainly quite difficult to deal with. Have you heard of Venetta de la Nuit's husband?
I don't believe I have.
Lord Roland Cinderlord. Yes, I'm not surprised, to be honest. He has been missing for quite some time. Oh, if only somebody knew what happened to him. Well, it's a shame, really, that nobody will ever know. Except a few individuals. If you get what I'm saying.
Well, I guess I do.
Now, this is only the beginning of what I could tell you. This favor, in exchange for that, is not much to ask for. Besides, all of your friends have already signed on. All you have to do is help them a little bit. You don't need to lead the charge. Even Arisa, Dara, everybody can be bought for the right price. Does that
Fine.
mean we have a deal?
But after this, I want no part of anything
Right, of course.
that has to do with this.
Consider your debt paid. Your debt by association, of course. Of course, I will still be offering ample opportunities for work afterwards, if you were to change your mind. But it is a deal, then.
Yeah.
Great. And he extends his hand.
Did I cut it now? I shake his hand.
Yep, he takes your hand. Very well. I'm glad that we could figure this out. Now you may want to join your friends. They are probably already planning how to take care of this whole situation. They can fill you in on anything that I haven't told you. It was nice meeting you, finally, Fritz.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Fritz makes his way to wherever he's supposed to make his way.
I guess that depends on where you want to go, but it would be a relatively safe bet to go for the Nocturnal Nymph, since that seems to be the central hub for the party as a whole. Okay, so, Arisa, you were making your way towards the library district, and so you get there. Where do you want to start, or what do you want to do there?
Well, based on the fact that I have had a bird's eye survey of the city, I presume I would have seen, like, if there's a particularly large library or something like that, or
There is
a particularly large collection of scholars.
the Alder King's library, or the library of the Alder King, stands out from a distance.
Perfect. I would approach the library.
All right. Yeah, it's this massive, beautiful library, also made of white stone, like most of the city. Kind of pillars outside, long lines. There are like two separate wings, one on the, I guess that would be east and west side. I'm not sure. But it's an absolutely beautiful structure. It seems to be relatively busy in the area. Like, there are quite a few scholars in the district and stuff that are walking in and out of the library, and people are passing by it and all kinds of things.
I approach the library.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, do you want to look for something in particular? Or?
No, I want to see if I can't enter.
Alright, yeah, no, you can. You see that there's some guards outside. They wear armor that is in some ways similar to the armor that Jaxson wore when you first met him. However, this one is more... This one is pretty much the plate variant of the same design.
Alright.
So it's heavier and more well protected, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Of what? When we first met him here in
no, the first time you met him in
First time,
Mistvale, back like on the 7th of
All right.
Virgin's Dawn, or whatever the first month is. But they don't really pay much attention. They just kind of like look at you as you walk in. There are these like 3 archways to go inside, and once you go there, you see like some stairs up to the 2nd floor, just lines of bookcases containing both scrolls and books and all kinds of things. Some people are like picking out texts and reading them. There are some areas to sit down and like transcribe things and read in peace. It's beautiful inside as well, like expensive fine woods that make up the bookcases. There are like these carpets of an ocean blue color with the silver and gold trims. Just like very luxurious on the inside.
All right. I would like. Is there like an information desk or a help desk or something?
Not really, as far as you can tell now.
So no staff personnel, seemingly like near the entrance at least.
Not in that sense that you just walk in and.
Then I would like to take a look around, see if I can't find, and then figure out like how this specific library is ordered up. Like, are you just supposed to go in and like if I can just take a glance and see walking around a bit, is it just pick out a book and just start reading, or is it
right?
How do you find information here and stuff?
Sure. So pretty much, I should clarify. I realized that it would be the north and south wing, not west and east. Got my directions confused there for a second. Just because
You got
of the
your
map.
heaven ether.
Well, it's because the map is all rotated weird. And
Okay,
had to
it's
think of it.
navigational east and west.
Either way, it would be the north wing is the private wing. You see it as heavily, and I mean heavily guarded by these plate armored soldiers that you saw by the entrance. Like there are a lot of them. Really, you're starting to realize that what Kessler said about needing an army to break into it is probably true.
Arisa is not surprised by this.
The rest of it it's guarded, like there are a few guards here and there.
More like standard security for high value.
Yeah, they seem to check people before they leave, but it's pretty much fine to enter as you wish.
But does it seem like you said they check people when they leave?
Yeah, just checking like their bags or seeing
Yeah,
if they
no,
try to take
exactly. But
anything.
that gives me some information of how this. Is there like how is the bookshelves ordered? Like, how do I find information? Is it like categorized to every row, or
There are like groups of bookcases that are
somebody, for example? Could I ask somebody?
It's pretty easy to find your way around. It just takes a little bit of time to like go to the different places, but like
Then I have enough information.
it's sorted into categories with a few bookshelves per, and then it's like alphabetical.
I think I can act upon this information now.
Right.
I would like to find a collection of books regarding topics of Queen Alicia.
Okay.
All the King's Library, specifically more ancient history, and
Sure.
Information upon the regarding the court mage.
All right. Sure.
So the position more than the actual person, because I don't know the person.
Right. Let me just bring out some special notes here for this.
And of course, if I find anything about like seems very much on the lines of like what we need to know, like if something says like how to create the seal, of course I want to pick that up, but I don't doubt anything like that comes
Okay,
up.
so to start off with, Queen Alicia was born in year 826, So she's still relatively young-ish. She has only been queen for, I believe, about 8 years.
826, you said.
Yeah, she was born in year 826.
So I can't remember exact year, but that's 80, around 80 or something like that.
No, it's about 180 years ago, ish. So she's like in her late 30s, kind of. So it's relatively young still.
To clarify for the audience, she's an elf.
Yeah.
I'm just presuming based on.
Yeah, no, they're all high elves in Osiria's royal line. She's the daughter of Queen Neridia. Who,
may I ask, what language is the actual books written in? Because I just realized I do not.
That's right.
I do not speak.
That's true. Yeah, you wouldn't find anything then.
No.
That's right.
After picking up the books, could I try? I find somebody.
say
asking a guard or something like that to see if I can't find anybody.
Okay, here's the thing. I'll see that you saw this like family tree in the beginning of one of the books, and you were like, "Oh, would you look at that?"
Wait, I'm in a giant library.
You sort of know the alphabet, so you're like, "Oh yeah, this is kind of like, sort of."
Well, I can figure out like freaking family tree. That's not too hard.
Well, it's a different alphabet though, so it would be difficult to.
But could I attempt to find a dictionary or some kind of compendium, as this is a massive library?
I'll have you make an intelligence check since the language barrier. I forgot about that.
Well, if it's a dictionary...
Right, but you don't know the categories then, so you need to look around a bit more.
Because the character categories, it wouldn't be picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. An intelligence, straight up.
Yeah, I'd say just basic intelligence check.
In a way, I'm not disputing it, but wouldn't insight actually be logical here?
No, insight is against people.
Is it only against people?
Yeah.
Intelligence. That's a total of 14. Straight up intelligence.
You struggle a bit, but after a while you manage to find some sort of dictionary. It's quite simple, and you reckon that it would be like, because the letters are different and you don't like know how to read it, it's gonna take a while to properly like decipher anything, because you're just so unfamiliar with the alphabet and stuff.
So I can't find any dictionary.
You can find a dictionary, but it's very like basic, the one you find.
Okay.
And
you have to go like word for word and like.
Yeah, so it would take a long time. Probably would be easier to just get Dara to come with you.
Yeah, could I then take the dictionary and go to a guard and basically try some broken language, stating basically, does anybody here, can anybody here help me? Can anybody speak Northern Common or something like that?
The guards. You know, you go up to like the first guard, doesn't react at all. So you try another one, because they all wear these like masks over the or under the helmets, kind of. It's these Roman style things, like but with masks under. So you can't really tell much of what these guards look like. But then when you go up to the second one and you start saying all that, to your surprise, the guard just says, "No, some of us speak Northern Common."
Oh, thank God. I'm sorry, I'm quite new, but quite interested in learning from this great library.
Understandable.
Is there anyone here that could help me translate these books? Or...
I suppose that depends on how much money you want to spend. You could hire a translator.
Well, how much is one of those?
Suppose it depends. I'm not quite familiar with the prices myself. It's been a while since I needed to learn Southern Common, so I haven't really bothered with this kind of information since.
You don't know, maybe... Do you know if there's maybe a magic shop that could sell, I don't know, quick translate. I just really want to know.
Friend, those have not been around since the days of the Arcanum. You need to look for underground areas to trade in magical items.
There you could be robbed. Oh.
Perhaps.
Well, I guess... if I were to hire a translator, where could I find one?
I mean, you're in the right district, I'll tell you that much. I was supplied a translator and a teacher when I took this job, so I don't really know.
Could you teach me the proper phrases to ask around for one?
Well, if you find somebody who's aware of how to find a translator, I reckon that they are also able to communicate in basic Northern Common. This place is a place for the more educated citizens, and a significant portion of them tend to speak Northern Common to some extent.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
You've been a great help. At this point, I will try to... I will walk off a bit, and then I will... let's see here. At what point in the day is this?
I mean, it's like early afternoon still.
Alright. I would like to cast Conjure Animals.
In the library?
Yes. I find it like a secluded corner or something.
Okay. What are you trying to conjure to begin with?
I would like to conjure 8 flies.
Okay, so you're doing the fly thing. I mean, that's not as big of a deal. I was like, well, if you're unleashing some sort of
I was about to do vermin, yes.
like...
I was about to do vermin,
Swarm of rat!
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and then I read, wait a moment, no!
Okay, yeah, so I'd say if you're just doing flies, that's easy enough to find a place where you're unseen for 6 seconds to be able to just, like, quickly conjure up some flies that...
Most importantly, I presume like the verbal component is the important one to hide.
Yeah, but I'd say since they will be like invisible quick enough, like they're not really things that people would notice. So
yeah, I ask them. I give them the command to try to find people who seem to that either speak Northern Common or seem to be reading Northern Common.
Okay.
In some regard, and if they do, try to collect as many of these people as possible, and then come back to me. For at least be gone for at least 15 minutes.
Okay.
But otherwise before.
In about half the time, about half of them, you sense them just die. Like people are just swatting these flies as they are annoying them.
And
the other half...
Meanwhile, I will sit down, by the way, and start reading.
Sure.
Trying to read about the Queen.
Yeah, I'll say that you can start deciphering the letters for the family tree, so you're able to find out the things I told you before.
And try teaching myself some basic broken language, basically.
Well, the other flies return eventually. None of them really finding anyone who's reading Northern Common or communicating in it. Judging by your time here, like most of the texts are either in Southern Common or in Arcanan, and I don't think you speak Arcanan either, right?
Not really,
it's
no.
the language of the Arcanum, so
unless it's like spookily similar to either Druidic or Celestial.
No.
And I doubt that.
No, it's nowhere near either one of those.
Yeah. I assumed.
So yeah, like people are reading either of those.
Then I will just continue trying to decipher it. Like while deciphering the books, trying to learn some basic, so it goes quicker. But then I spend the rest of the day here doing that.
I'll just say, like, for now, you're able to kind of... I'd say the only thing that is simple enough is the stuff about the Queen. which is kind of what I started to talk about. Is like she was born 826. She has only been reigning since year 999, so she's only been the queen for 8 years, because it's common for the elven king or queens in this case to only be regents for about a century or so, because they live for so long that it's pretty exhausting to be like a king or queen for 300 years or whatnot. So her mother is still alive, although she's no longer queen, and her great-grandmother is also alive, despite being about 500 something years old, which is exceptional even for an elf. And her great-grandmother's name is Sorel of Oseria. Her mother's name is Neridia of Oseria. Also, the queen, I should point out, is married to Lord Daon. And I believe she has about 20 or so children. Which also isn't very uncommon. Yeah, she has 27 kids total. But that is quite common for the royal elves. Because they live for so long and their pregnancies are no longer than a normal human, so if you really want to secure your lineage, you might as well get that many. It's like, oh well, you're 27th in line to inherit the kingdom. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the other books, or even this one, but especially the other books, I much more try to do a thorough but skimming in search, like targeted information. Like, so the appendix first, trying to decode that, and then trying to figure out what.
I'd say the
like
rest.
I'm expecting it to take more than probably the rest of the day. But
yeah, like you're not really gonna get far in the day. You're mainly just able to focus on the family tree and like learn a couple of basic words, but that's about it, pretty much. I was gonna say that at that point we're gonna jump to the rest of you, but Simon has walked off. So, oh wait, I see his hand.
Wait. He's probably just. He was probably just sleeping in his bed or something.
Great. Yeah, I just said that you walked off, so we couldn't really do anything with you, Simon. But now we're now you're here.
I thought you. It was gonna take a little longer, but now I'm here. Yes.
So the three of you, do you all head to Nocturnal Nymph then?
At least me and Jaxson said we wanted to, so don't know if Storm wants to.
Yeah, I'll go to.
Okay. So, as you get there, you kind of sit down, have a moment to, if you want to order yourself some food or something. Storm, you'd have to pay for it. The rest of you would get it for free since you're living here.
If I threaten him, though.
And the guards come.
After a moment, you see Fritz walk in through the front door. Just kind of stands there, looks at you, see each other.
Look, isn't it the one who trying to avoid us? What are you doing at this fancy tavern, huh?
Well, I think you guys all know what we're doing here.
Yep.
Well,
in the concept with us, how lovely.
Well, I suppose you have met him.
Yeah, I did meet him. Or whatever the other people with him were.
Yeah, he was never really. He wasn't so revealing on that part. But anyway.
What deal did you make with him, eh? You getting back with the.
Oh, you know, Storm. You know me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a whole lot of stuff out of this, you know?
Like what?
Nah, I ain't gonna win such like that.
What's your reward for
No.
clearing it? Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just getting out of this. After I just, you promised me to, give me some retirement money, I guess you could call it.
Hmm.
Insight
Your own kingdom, how lovely.
or deception? Insight?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can insight check it.
That doesn't feel like Fritz to me. The fuck?
That does sort of feel like.
I don't think I know.
Yeah, I rolled that.
Maybe. I rolled really shit, but it might be good.
That's Fritz.
Well, okay, so Fritz, if you consider that to be a lie, you roll deception. Otherwise, you just roll a persuasion check, and we'll see.
I mean,
what
I consider it like a metaphor. So I do mean what I'm saying. I'm just like, I'm not saying. So what's that, like, persuasion?
I'd say so. I mean, it's an indirect answer, but it is. What did the rest of you get? You add your charisma. Oh, but yeah, it's persuasion, so you do it on disadvantage technically because of the scars.
Terrific.
Yeah, I got an 8.
8.
So that's
And Storm.
I got a total of 13.
Ah!
Oh, is that 12 or something?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
he seems honest. Like, there isn't really anything
I rolled a 4.
shady about that.
You're only getting money from Kessler. That seems kind of weird for you to ask for money.
Yeah, you
Well, you know, Storm, he took one from you. You know, money's everything.
I doubt that.
Greed is all.
Says the person that wants a powerful magical
Yeah,
item.
you can't speak, bro.
Yeah.
You're talking about that you have to
You
save
took the most selfish
your-
thing out of them all.
taking magic out.
You have the right to remain silent, Dara.
Arisa
Yes.
wanted to help people. Storm,
I have
Taking-
people also.
well, yeah, and you help your friend, your co-king. I help my family, and most.
And I did not want to reveal too much to him.
And you
I
didn't
asked
help
for
anyone
something.
except yourself.
Yes.
Egotistical. I am.
I didn't
I
know
am.
the day when Dara did
Yeah.
something more selfish than Storm and me.
Storm does sell someone out. Dara does something egotistical. Dara, you selfish B-word.
You only ask one.
No.
Explain
Anyway, that is not something that will come to play at the moment. Anyway, we have a discussion of how to gain.
No, our discussion is for him to tell us what great deal he got.
I'm quite curious as well.
Fritz seems to be completely honest. I don't believe him.
I'm just asking him if it is the truth that he's only getting money for it. You know,
It just feels a bit little weird, you know.
Well, he is a man of
short
simple.
explained. A simple man. Did you just call him a simp?
No. What even
He's a
is a
simp,
sim?
man. He's simping for Clarice.
No, we all know that Storm is the only one simping for Clarice.
Yeah,
You're actually the only one who hasn't seen.
technically true. No, technically true.
Jaxson, it's not simp.
He's simping the shit out for his job. Because he's not getting powers if he's not the simp.
Kinda true.
Oh, yeah. Are we a part of simps?
Yep.
Simp Squad!
I would say that's the least simp.
Please, somebody just.
The coworkers is no more, now it's the Simps.
The
We at least
co-sims.
Dara and Arisa most like
Oh,
they-
simp.
They are the most simp out of us all.
Yeah. But anyway, let's continue back to the roleplay.
It's five parts of one simp.
Okay, Fritz, can you start talking or something? Or you're just standing there quiet, looking
Takes
scared?
time to eat. Like, just don't stand there.
Who?
Well, can we at least offer him a chair, please?
No.
I offer him a chair.
No, Fritz is just gonna lean, in the doorway. He's just,
Stands on the other side of the room, just like, well.
Someone tries to go through, pass through.
Excuse me, sir. No, we're talking here.
lady. Yeah. No, I grab the seat.
Alright, yeah, you pull up a chair, sit down by the rest of the co-workers. Most of the co-workers, anyway.
The only three that has admitted that they has been the co-workers. Technically, all the co-workers.
Well, Tazio isn't there.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All the founding members.
The founding fathers.
Rather.
Excuse me.
The founding parents. But that's gender neutral, that's good.
Fritz?
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting, man.
Well, if he says it's over, I believe him.
It's still. Well, Storm, we're fine. I'm growing pretty tired of all this. So I'm just.
Tired of what? Me asking genuine questions.
Well, you guys first of all.
You're getting tired of me just asking you what you get rewarded for, and you can't tell me that. I get my island made into a real country, a real kingdom.
I believe he called it a state and not a kingdom.
Whatever you fucking call it. It gets fucking recognized, more people come to it, and I live happy. And the people on the island. Jaxson got a keep and stuff, and Dara got the item, as you heard, that ego, and Arisa helps her country.
Yeah.
Well, Storm, I didn't mean I'm getting pretty tired as in this specific moment, although now I am getting pretty tired of this specific moment.
Okay.
In general, I don't know, man. This is...
I think he's tired of your shit.
I'm done with all the heisting. I'm done with all the... I just want to find a little farm where I can farm my farms and, be a farm man like I've always been.
You were a farm man.
Weren't you a slave?
Did you enjoy that more?
On a farm.
I just want to go back to being a slave.
Great! The dude, holy shit! Weren't you a slave?
What is going on?
It's like, yes, but on a farm.
Yeah.
When slavery is preferable.
Okay.
To deal with this, maybe it is.
Secrets. You won't get any fucking co-worker / with that. So, we need to fight in the arena soon. We have 2 fights, and then we need to...
Technically more than 2 fights.
We kind of need to kill a mage, yeah.
First, you're
No,
kind of like
we're not
sitting there
gonna
and
kill-
you're like, okay, fight in the arena, and then it's like, wait, did he say 2?
There's one of them.
There's 2. There's one against monsters and one against other people.
Yep.
And
No,
for some
there's
reason,
one.
There's
You
2.
I told you there was 2.
there are 2 tournaments, but it's one arena, I think.
But no, before wasn't that a lie, just Storm? Because has he really told him about before? There was 2.
Yeah, Fritz knows about the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't know
2.
about the second one.
Yeah. Storm just claimed that he had told him about 2.
Well, that there are 2
Oh.
different
yeah.
things, not that they're signed up to both.
I misunderstood what his answer was there. Sorry.
No worries.
Oh. Anyway,
So yeah,
we
Did
need...
you go and get us signed up for both of
Yep.
them?
I mean, the second one was more relevant for
Fritz
what we were doing.
signed up.
And Storm,
Jaxson.
we are not killing a mage. First of all, we don't know if it's a mage.
You said that, didn't you?
No, scholar. So he reads books and stuff like that.
Yeah, but you know what usually reads books?
And
Mages.
If they don't notice and we get back the seed to him in time, he might not die.
I feel like they're probably gonna notice.
But there's a chance.
Anyway, the other possibility is somehow making Queen giving us a certain thing so we can give it to him. But that is a little bit trickier, I would say.
So their plan is to make you and me, Fritz, fight to the death against 2 grand champions for a shot to talk with the queen.
Yeah, that's good plans, right? Your man likes to fight, you know.
Sure.
I don't really like that plan.
I would say that your 2 are the most capable fighters we have. Storm is a coward.
And
As
we
soon
have
as
a
things
meat
go
shield as
south,
well
he
as-
will run away. Arisa
It's a meat
is
cheat.
I live to
yes,
fight another day.
and I go down as easily as, well, anything easy to kill. You 2 are the
I
only
haven't
ones.
even had a fight in my new powers yet, so
Jaxson
I'm
goes down
stronger
instantly.
than I know.
Iconic.
So the down counter.
I will never get downed again.
Jackson's kind of lagging behind on the down counter
Yeah.
recently. Like,
Dara
Yeah.
might be above soon.
Yeah. I think I don't really have a down counter on Dara, but maybe I should.
Maybe
it would be pretty high at this point.
Yeah.
Especially after Isidore.
Does an actual
Oh,
death
yeah.
count as like 2 deaths or 2 downs?
No, 1. It counts as 1. 1 extra because first you get down and then you get killed and then that's an extra down.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like,
Yeah.
But when you go up and get down again, that's an extra down. So
Yeah.
Dara got cucked in that battle.
like 5 of them in that fight alone or something.
I get healed up. I get nat 20. Woo!
Anyway,
Up
So-
and down.
We do this fight, 2 arena fights. You become champions. I can fight. Sure, I can. If I have Fritz or Jaxson, sure, I can fight for the Grand Master. You know.
Well, regardless, it has to be someone who is strong and capable. So, Fritz, you're up.
That's what I have been trying to tell them, that we are not going to do the Grandmaster fight because it's just unfair.
Me and Fritz will do it.
Okay. No, you and I mean, if Fritz wants to do it, sure, but I would say like you and Arisa.
Arisa will never.
you see the younger of the elves working here at this point comes up to your table and says, "Is everything in order here, or do you want to order something?"
Does it say this in Elvish or in Common? Northern.
He knows you at this point and says in Northern Common. He's the one who talks proper Northern Common.
A bottle of wine as well, thank you.
Bottle
Yes,
of wine.
some for me too.
Fritz just asked
Yeah,
for
bro.
the strongest thing. So.
We have wine.
It's
Right.
So would you like to share a single bottle, or would you like a bottle per person?
Let's take 2 bottles.
Yeah, 2 bottles are fine.
Very well.
Yeah, I'll take 2 bottles.
So 4.
4 bottles total. Then. Excellent. And he walks off.
Do you know the price of the bottles?
Please don't say it was the expensive one. Because Jaxson was the one that said bottle.
Yeah, Jackson's standard isn't the lowest.
Comes
the
back
server
with
would-
500 gold.
The server would know that I don't go for the cheapest one.
He comes back with 4 bottles of the variety that you're used to drinking here. That will be 40 gold total.
40?
40 gold, yes.
So mine is like 20 gold from you.
If you wish to split it as you ordered it, then yes, 20 gold from you, sir, and 20 gold split between the two of you.
I will just
At
give
this
you.
point, I'm expecting just Fritz to, collapse out of, faint out of shock.
I will just.
Fritz
I will
doesn't
take-
really care anymore. He just slaps the 20 gold.
Do you tip?
Sure, she gets an extra gold. Fritz is kind of
Thank you, sir.
reaches in his
10%.
pouch. And
I give 15 gold pieces. Wait, 1 platinum, 5 gold.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
5 as a tip.
Right.
And I will give 10 gold because I only have gold.
Thank
Because
you,
you don't
madam.
tip. Oh my
Nah.
god.
Dara ain't got
Just
the
say
gold
the
to
word
tip.
if you need anything more. And he heads off. Now his
Yeah,
hands filled
next.
with gold and platinum. So.
I will make.
What did you say, sir?
Just next.
Well, we have some delicacies coming in from our... Excuse me?
What do you mean delicacies?
Well, some treated fruits, for instance.
You got if you dry meat.
Jerky.
Yeah, exactly. That's the name.
Oh, you mean poor people's food? I am sure you could find some of that in the Hollows or perhaps the Port District. I hear that it's quite popular among the less clean individuals in the city.
Nice. A real mature man we have here. Leave us alone.
He's actually telling the truth, so.
No.
He seems a bit confused, as if he did something wrong and he doesn't realize what.
So my friend here is just very easily offended. Don't mind.
I understand different cultures can be difficult to deal
Jacksonian.
with sometimes. Ah, yes. I apologize.
oh,
And then he heads off.
Oh my god.
Storm is the kind of guy to cry wolf.
I will summon my servant and he will pour the wine for me.
Alright. Yeah, this invisible force just lifts the bottle, uncorks it, and then starts pouring it into the glass. Fritz, you're sitting there with 2 full bottles of wine that is super expensive.
Start making my way through.
Also, I guess, Will, you need to leave at this point. Right.
Wait.
Yes.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
We're not
sorry.
gonna keep going for much longer, but yeah, we'll just...
Kinda need to leave, so.
Yeah, I understand that. It was nice having you anyway, and we'll talk soon to each other soon again. Have a good one.
Of course.
See
Peace
you.
out, man.
See you.
Oh, now the overlay.
Yeah, alright, fix that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we're not gonna keep going for much longer. We're just gonna get to a better ending point. So yeah, you're still there now with more wine.
Yes.
So
And that's the plan.
what's your thoughts on the plan, eh?
Who's he asking?
I said your name.
Well, I mean, sure.
Nice. So you are willing to risk your life for us to get the seal by then we can, and then after you get the seal we can give away the seal, and we if the queen ever knows us we are getting killed again.
Yeah.
Storm is not the best wordsmith in the world, but
Mm-hmm.
I believe everyone understood what he was trying to say at least.
But didn't Kessler say also that we didn't have to give away the thing? We could just open it for them.
Well, first of all, we need to get it.
And I don't think you could let someone in that doesn't have the seal, because then you would be killed.
Yeah.
If you were caught inside the wing without the seal.
Yes.
So,
which probably says a lot about what dangers lie in there.
but I think that we should wait with the Grandmaster fight.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, we need to, if we are going to go for the Grandmaster, we need to qualify to be able to be
Well,
eligible.
that would be easy.
Cakewalk.
You have seen me fight.
Yes, but you remember the Dulanui twins?
You got knocked out by a fucking ogre, dude.
That too. Dumblug was pretty powerful.
Fat
Well,
man. Is your head alright? Is your is your nose plastic, by the way, or is it real?
Oh, you wanna feel it? It's completely real.
So Storm just starts like pulling on your nose, kind of like twisting it different ways, and it really hurts. It definitely feels real.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Although
Yes,
Jaxson,
he has really gone Michael Jackson route. From right, like I said. It's an old pun I made.
as you let go of him, you see there's like this small trail of blood that just trickles down from one of the nostrils.
Oh.
Oh, then we got that. Whoop. I licked my finger. Okay, so
Rude.
we checked it tomorrow, and we got nothing else to do until the fights, right?
Well,
Yeah.
we can check the gauntlet fight.
Well, it depends on, will the gauntlet be first or the
Probably the
championship?
gauntlet first, because it was
Oh, I
the
haven't-
process. And it's the four of us that are going to do that.
Anyway, maybe we should try and find a way to estimate how powerful people are who are in this tournament. Because if they're like
They don't
the
stand a chance.
Draxonian Death
They
Squad,
were easy.
yeah, they were pretty easy. But if there are Delanui twins,
Like, they were like...
But they
Yeah.
are not allowed to kill us, so why even bother with that?
well, we still
won.
need to know if it's possible for us to beat them.
Well,
yeah.
So
we can't
Death
kill the
Squad without their two most powerful people.
Yeah. And one of them was drunk.
That too.
I mean, like,
Alright, so
we are able... We can kill the people in there. I mean, we don't have to. I mean, it's like... We don't have to be that careful. As we had to be in the arena. Well, arena, the fight were at ball.
what, I say we wait for everything and then we go, or till we come up to the board and take some information about what was his name again? The Barbas.
Barnabas.
Barnabas.
I'm not gonna have you corrupt this name as well.
Barbar.
I write
Barbas
everything down.
Igni.
I write everything down and then I can't read what I've written down. So it becomes, look, I can, exactly. Here you see, I've written it down. Bar is bigger, and then na is smaller, and then bus is bigger. So then I only see bar bus.
Well, that's your handwriting that sucks. Okay.
So, right. Speaking of Dara's ego with taking an item, I think Sappho's has new stock at the Outcasts.
I went to him before, and he said it was just a bunch of magicals, like for mage and stuff like that.
For me,
Yeah.
let's go.
That was a while ago, though. At this point,
Okay, right. That was like 3 months ago, but like before.
Oh, yeah,
The
I mean,
time has been
yeah.
different for me, so
You
it
heading
feels
to the Outcasts?
like a couple of weeks.
You heading to the Outcasts or what? Nice. Fritz,
Well, that would be...
Huh? I'm sorry.
coming
Oh,
along.
sorry, what did you say?
We're going to the Outcasts to check out some new items Sappho's has got.
Mm-hmm.
What's that
You
again?
wanna-
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
Great.
it might be for you.
okay. So
Don't forget the balls.
as you kind of
I'll have my servant carrying the bottle with me.
right, yeah, Fritz, you just kind of like put those
And
bottles
the
away
glass.
for later, I
And the
guess. You like use some of your
Yeah.
spare clothes to just pad them to make sure that they don't
Yeah.
break very easily, and then you all headed towards the Outcasts to check out magical items.
Yeah.
And I think that is a good point to end the session then.
No. Alright, you have to prep that.
No, okay. Do you really want to do that this time?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, sure. I'm
Okay,
fine
yeah,
with-
sure. We can
Yeah.
go just a little bit longer then. That's fine. Okay, so you you all head over to this big abandoned mansion in the I can't remember if it was council district. I need to check my list here. Council district, yes. And you head inside. You've been given like a special way to go in. Those of you that've been there before, so that you can bypass the fake spooky ghost that is set up at the entrance to scare off people that just happen to decide to explore this abandoned place. As you, I think Jaxson and Storm, you've both been to Sappho's corner of this mansion, so you're able to guide the group through there. However, when you get to the store, you see that Sappho's isn't there. Instead, there is somebody else. The store is still open. There's somebody else there, also an Arcana Loth, and one that is more familiar to you than Sappho's. You see Schreiber, who's sitting there, just casually reading a book. Looks up at you as you approach. See how he kind of looks a bit surprised for a second, and then puts the book away, stands up. Oh, I wasn't expecting to see you all here today.
Neither did us.
Here.
I can imagine. Well, I suppose you wonder why I'm here. To keep it short, Sappho's had to go away, as you may have noticed. Took Tazia with him. They had to go to the, shall we call it, headquarters of our little business. Had some pressing matters to attend to. So they did some relocating of us, and since I'm one of the more experienced members of the Arcana Emporium, I was assigned to the two capital cities, my old Vendithal that I'm used to running, and this one where some of the newer recruits were reassigned to take care of Stronwick and Havengala in the meantime.
What is? Do you know if Grimwald is happy or sad?
Hard to be happy in times of war, I suppose.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, nice.
So what happened after this incident?
Well, he came back to the city quite quickly, so did I.
Oh.
Then we got the news that the war has broken out. And at this point, most of Western Beleren is in ruins. War has just been tearing the kingdom apart. They're doing about as well as can be expected with the help of Oseria, but they lost quite a bit originally. The northern flank is doing well though, northeast I should say, where they're attacking from Laronia. But I shouldn't bore you with all the details of the war, besides I'm no war strategist. You came in for magical items, I imagine.
Yeah, so
Yes.
one less lost doubled items. Because you took his items and you had items yourself, right?
Well, I still manage Venderthal, so this is the inventory that was given to this city.
No.
Anyway, start with the basics, I suppose. Or what?
Could we get access to the vendor stall items as well?
Can't really do that, no. They are bound to each place, especially now since I'm only a temporary manager of this store.
I meant like if you would go back there and get them for us.
If you had
Stuff
any
like that.
specific requests that I happen to have over there, then that might be possible, but otherwise, not really. Anyway,
Okay.
I'll start you off with the basics. 9 regular healing potions, 4 potions of greater healing, 1 potion of superior healing. Got another oil that you can treat a blade with called fire oil. Quite expensive. Does a lot of extra damage as it sets your blade on fire for a while.
I can do that. Well, no. Fuck. I can't do that.
It's
The
quite
Tag needs no help.
It's quite powerful fire, I should point out. Enough to really melt through even the toughest of enemies.
Even walls.
I suppose if you try, maybe. Either way, got some scrolls if anybody's interested in those as well.
What kind of scrolls are we looking at?
My best scroll at the moment would be a scroll of confusion. Also happen to have a scroll of catnap and a scroll of mind spike.
Not really interested. I was.
I will think about those.
Magic shit is...
Very well.
Well, you can't use
No
those
magic
anyway.
item is magic shit.
As for the more, so to speak, proper magical items, I guess I'll start off with the most rudimentary one, and he pulls out this set of leather armor that has been reinforced with a bunch of these like steel, like smaller steel pieces. It's studded leather armor. I struggle to describe it. It has studs. Why did I forget that word? It's literally in the name.
Yeah.
This one is a slightly better set of studded leather. It's been made to enhance some of the protective capabilities of it. Nothing too fancy about it. Quite basic. Then he pulls out.
Studded skin.
He pulls out a ring next.
Oh.
This not much more interesting than the other one. This ring protects you, creates an aura around you that makes it a bit easier for you to dodge out of the way, almost a sixth sense.
I'm interested
pretty
in
good.
that.
After that, he puts a pair of boots on the counter. Let me just pull up the exact stats of this.
Color, shoe size, and fashion design.
It's these like leather boots, kind of similar to what you would see in like the far north, or maybe like the northern parts of Thramera. They have this like sheep's skin on the inside that kind of like sticks out a bit on top. It has this like rim of sheepskin. Otherwise, it's this kind of lightish brown leather. This one is called the Boots of the Winterlands. You can resist cold temperatures better in this when you're wearing these. temperatures as low as minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I hate Fahrenheit, but that's what they use here. And
wait
I
here.
can't convert
But
it
that's
super
almost the
easily.
same as minus 50 degrees Celsius. Almost.
You
Alright.
sell them here in this area. Are you crazy, man?
Somebody
Are you
traded them.
Okay. So you.
When you sell something, I get to sell it back, or I get to sell it to somebody else. Anyway, if you're in snowy landscapes, you can travel easier, and even the cold damage is less effective against you. Next one, and he pulls out a wand. I'll pull up these stats again. This one it looks almost like an icicle. This like bluish white translucent material. Got this one from the same person that sold the boots. This one is called Wand of Winter. It has a number of cold-based spells that it can cast, including Ray of Frost, Sleet Storm, and Ice Storm.
I like the names of the spells.
Quite a nifty item to put your hands on. Last up, and he pulls out...
Sounds like new skins for Storm. Oh, Ice Storm!
He pulls out a set of braces, these leather braces, that you see on them. There's a thin dagger that is sheathed on each of them. This one is known as the Braces of Flying Daggers. Actually, it's not a set, it's just one of them. You can use it to pull out these daggers, and you can throw them. Once you throw them, and it hits something, it vanishes, and you get another one. Essentially, infinite throwing knives.
Cool.
But that's what I have in stock at the moment. Anything that caught your interest?
I would like the ring,
The ring?
probably.
Alright.
Yeah.
The ring goes for 2,450 gold.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I can get you that money. I just have to go to the bank because I don't carry that much around. Sounds
Alright.
stupid. So yeah, I would love to buy that one.
Anything else?
Is the
I'm a little bit interested in quite a few of them, but I will have to check on my personal funds back and see what. But just for curiosity, how much costs the wand?
The wand is
oh fuck!
one of the more expensive ones.
Yeah,
Currently goes for 6,250 gold.
Less than I thought it would be, so that's actually kind of nice.
How the fuck is that less?
I thought it would be in like 10,000 range.
How
A
much for the
runner,
dagger?
well, that one is the most expensive, 6,500.
What the? Are you?
I heard rumors that the bunch of you made quite a lot of money back in Vendithor.
Ah, so that did get out. I was.
Well, among the outcasts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't we be known as the ones who defeated Isidore? Sorry.
Yeah, we saved Venderthal. Everyone should be happy.
Well, there are a number of conflicting stories of how that happened.
We hear the short versions.
Well, one of the more popular ones is from somebody going by Silas, I think.
No.
Claims to
No.
have single-handedly charged in there and murdered Isidore on his own.
How is that the popular one?
It's one of the ones that have been spread more. He's become
Yeah.
a bit of a local hero to some.
I have
Garnered
no
a
idea
small
what this is.
following.
Great. Okay, so how much for the boots? They should cost
Boots
very
are...
little. because
They're only 1,350.
You need a tune to those.
I believe you do.
Probably.
They're even more trash.
How many
Yes, you
items
do.
are you? How many items are you attuned to, Storm? Just out of curiosity. All of them.
No, I'm not even to one. I don't think so. No, I'm not even to one.
And here comes Dara, who has
I
filled her
guess.
attunement slot.
Yeah, I have no attuned.
Does the wand require attunement, by the way?
I assume the daggers are.
Yes.
I assume the daggers are dex, not fucking.
Yeah, I mean it would be pretty much just throwing a dagger.
And you can get sneak.
I mean,
Otherwise,
a dagger
I think-
is a finesse weapon, so
Yeah, and it works on ranged weapons, I think, as well. If you
it
gain.
does.
but wait, how much damage is it?
D4 probably.
Yeah,
Unless it
I
does
mean,
more.
it is you throw daggers with it, so
But it's
daggers are
magical
D4.
dagger.
It
Magical
should be
dagger.
magical.
Hey. Was it attunement to the boots?
Yes.
You need to attune to something.
Everything except for the armor is attunement.
Okay, then I think I know what the armor is.
It's just studded.
No, it's better than that, probably.
I mean, it's not a normal set of armor that he's selling here.
I mean, I can literally detect magic and see that it irradiates
Yeah.
magic, probably.
Wait,
I
just-
won't do it because that would be stupid. It's obviously magical.
If you need some time to think about it, go on ahead, but I can't promise that it will still be here once you come back.
Put the ring on hold for me. Because I'm just getting the money.
How long do you need?
Maximum of a day.
Well, I suppose I could do that.
We're about the boots for 900 gold.
Storm, you should know that you can't haggle with me.
Come on, man. We old co-workers. Wisdom saving throw, Schreiber. Get that shit off me, man.
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to charm me?
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh no! I know what it is. It's that ability you have.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, like...
The swashbuckler thing. The one that is sucks because you don't have charisma.
Exactly.
Ooh,
I don't
that's
think
a
that-
pretty bad roll.
Oh.
13.
Wait.
You have to calculate it. I think it's your 8 plus your proficiency plus your charisma or something like that.
I think he succeeds.
Probably.
Because you have negative in charisma.
I fucked up. But I use luck. Because I am...
What, to make... What are you rolling for?
Yeah, I have to also...
Oh.
You make a
Oh, I thought it was a DC.
check constituted by a creature's...
Oh. Alright.
Too bad you suck at charisma then.
Okay, not 900. 900 might be a bit 1,100. You know, we're
So-
area.
You realize I work for people.
I won't-
I'm not
yeah,
the
you
boss. I am not the boss. And
Yes,
the
but you got
boss
traded
is...
that. You
And all items have values.
who's your boss?
Somebody you don't want to meet.
Who's your boss?
Can I talk to you about it?
Malphas,
Okay, never mind. Some friggin' demon boy.
demon lord of the abyss, yes.
Oh wow. So, how much did they cost?
The boots cost 1,350.
1,200 final offer.
I'm afraid we will not be making a deal today then.
You are.
And he takes the boots and he starts putting them away.
You're one hell of a dude.
I have something else I want to ask you.
Go on.
If there's possible for you to cast a spell for me.
Could probably do that. But it might cost you.
Yes. It's a sending spell.
Sending.
Sending. I believe you have.
Behind that.
I believe you have met this person. He's another Gillstar. I don't know if he introduced himself as Kingston Gillstar or Morgan Goya.
Yeah, I think I know who you mean. I haven't really talked to him, but I think I know who.
Yes. I just need to know his whereabouts.
Right. Well, a sending spell. Sending's 3rd level, I think, right?
Yeah.
I'll charge you. Let's say 250 gold.
Sure. I can agree about that.
Christ.
Normally a spell scroll for the spell would cost 300, so I'm cutting the cost a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we have a deal then.
Alright. So you just want me to ask where he is?
Where he is and where he will be in the future, and that Jaxson Gillstar asks.
Let me just quickly check something.
If you can fit that in the amount of words.
Right. Alright, sure.
Mm-hmm.
So do you pay him?
Yeah, I pay him.
Okay. So you give him 250 gold, and he starts casting, just muttering. He pulls out this piece of copper wire and kind of starts drawing patterns in the air with it. And then focuses. You see his lips move as if he's saying something.
Yeah.
And then he waits a little bit. That's interesting. Well, I got a reply. He sounded like he wasn't exactly in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to tell even what he was saying, to be honest. But he mentioned being in Vendethor, but told you to stay away.
Okay. Thank you.
Stay away from Vienna.
I think that's everything.
Can't say that, yeah, I can't say that he sounded good.
I have a item Staffos would finish for me if I brought him the item, so would you also be able to do that? The requirements? Or do I have to wait for Staffos?
I placed an order.
Yep.
It's probably been fast forwarded to the hub. It will be here whenever things were agreed upon. And what are you?
I need something from a creature first.
Right. Oh, so you need an activation.
Yep.
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect.
Simple enough.
Nice.
Well, is there anything else?
No.
Not at the moment.
No.
In that case, I suppose Jaxson will see each other soon.
Indeed.
It's nice seeing the rest of you. It's been a while.
Indeed.
Same to you, same to you. Keep a weather eye out.
You too. Alright, so with that, I think we're gonna finally end this session, which ended up being a bit longer than I thought, because you wanted to do magic item shopping, apparently.
Yeah.
But not buy anything.
No, we just browsed.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
I
well,
wanted the ring as well, but
Jaxson
I
bought some
bought some.
services.
And I was going to buy the ring.
Pre-ordered.
I am.
Yes.
Alright, well, with that,
Yeah,
I
let's-
guess we will just have to say goodbye, and that we will see everyone soon-ish. Next week, probably.
Yeah.
But we will be talking about scheduling something. And, yeah, I have school tomorrow. That's great. Wow. University starts again. First day
Hi.
of the semester. Which
I
is
open.
I already
tomorrow.
started.
Hi.
cool. Well, I
Nice.
got a class from 16 to 18. It's really weird.
That sucks.
Hi.
Do you still have distance lectures?
First
or-
day is in school. The rest is
No.
yeah. To go to school for one day, and then we'll be back at home until November. It'll be the first time I leave the street.
It's
pretty much.
October for us, so that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's until like the last of October. From the 1st of November, it's set to open up again.
It
But
starts
yeah.
for us during.
Anyway, let's not digress too much further. We can keep talking off stream and whatnot. But yeah. Until next time, have a good one, everybody.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.